You've been loud all summer, talking like you know, saying he ain't built, saying he too slow. Every take you got, you standing on it now. Yeah, you real confident, I'll give you that for now. Say he ain't the one, say he gon' fold. Say it with your chest, be bold. Don't switch up when it get real clear. Keep that same energy all year. We gon' revisit this.
What's going on, Raider Nation? Welcome to Show Me the Shield. I'm here, Raiders First Downs. My co-host, Donuts Duncan. We're going to try a new little asset to our show tonight, see if maybe you guys can entertain with us. This will be a live call-in show, and if you don't have the number to call in, we have it for you. Give me just a second here. I need a producer. I need to hire a producer. Call Show Me Your Shield live at 209-232-5206. Yeah, that's correct. Area code 209. Duncan, what do you think about the 209?
That's where I came from.
So we had a full onslaught of what we were going to talk about tonight, and that is as in the title stated, that we were going to talk about dreams and nightmares in a 53-man roster and who will make the roster. But a couple hours before our show was set to go live, after we all got it set together, some breaking news happens. And not good news. It's not the end of the world, but not good news. And it's never news you really want to hear. So why don't you entertain us a little bit? Fill us in what you got, Duncan, on the news break.
Yeah, first, Vinny Bonsignor and a few other insiders posted on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, that Ashton Genty went down during a passing play, diving for a ball that Kirk Cousins threw, and needed help getting off the field because he couldn't put any weight on his leg. So, of course, instant reactions are like, oh, God, he had a non-contact injury. That's probably the worst situation possible when it comes to injuries in practice is the non-contacts.
Yep.
Then wait a few minutes, came out, okay, he collided with Porter, so it was a contact injury. But also heard the news that the team ended up gathering up and praying together, which usually is a not very good sign. But the injury itself pretty much froze practice, shut off the music, and kind of one of those hold your breath moments for the team. Yeah. And of course, looking out, the Discord reacted like it got a lot of us very concerned because we're going to need him for our run game to be any sort of successful this year. Like, I don't think any of us think like we're going to be able to run the ball great, but it definitely helps having somebody like Genty back there.
Yep.
And I think more details are coming out, but I mean, we got to wait for the team to officially say something to know for sure, like what it is. So we'll probably hear news on that within a day or so.
Yep. Easy big dogs in the house. We're up to 11, 12. Let's get this thing rolling, man. We're going to be going live just for the 13, 15. It's climbing. For those of you guys that are in the channel, we're looking to do this when the season starts at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time after every game. And this is going to allow you guys to come in. If you want to vent. The phone number is on. Oh, give me a minute. On the screen right there, 209-232-5206. I have made the workaround, put a lot of time and effort into this to where we both can talk to you on the phone. So if you got a question for Duncan and you call, he'll hear you. Okay? So this is a dual effort, a team effort here. So if you got a question for Duncan, call in and say, hey, Duncan, blah, 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 blah. When you call, let us know who you are, where you're calling from, and what you want to talk about. But in the meantime, let's get to the Genty thing for just a second. Housekeeping real quick. JP Raiders in the house as well. And so is one of our best chatters is Money Chuck. Gentlemen, the injury is nothing less than a kick to the wee-wee. Our major chess pieces in question. and hopefully we can work through that and show us what you got on that money, Chuck. Let us know. Let us know.
I read
209.
that, like, NT got kicked in the wee.
Yeah, sometimes you got to slow down and read those just a little bit, especially with comments, and you're only allowed so many characters, and you're trying. My biggest thing when I'm doing comments or chatting in other people's on the other people's things is sometimes I'll think of the word or say the word before I type it and skip it, and it's like I'm missing a whole word, and it's like that's not what I meant, type thing. So it just kind of got to be patient a little bit, and and the rules of the game for us on Show Me the Shield is if you keep it non-personal, don't make it personal with us or with anybody else in the chat. It's all fair game what you want to say. If you want to tell us we don't know what we're talking about, that's fine. So just prove us wrong. That's all we ask. Because I don't know about you, Duncan, but I'm open. If I'm wrong and I think you're right, I'll double check. You know what? You're right. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Easy coming in. Thanks for your help today, Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
And speaking of Izzy has been helping me set up a Discord, which we got right here. We're starting a Show Me Your Shield Discord, and we're thinking of trying to figure out some ways where we can use the Discord to maybe help out the show or pop up onto the show sometimes, occasionally. But yeah, if you guys want to come join that, we can talk football throughout the week. You don't have to wait for the show and get some live updates. Izzy actually found a little bot that actually shows live updates of the scores of the games every week. So that's kind of cool to just check in if you don't have a reliable source outside of that, or if you're already on Discord. Justice 4. Kubiak needs to shut down Mike Washington Jr. He don't need to play in our last preseason game. Roman Hemby should make the roster. Yeah, I understand wanting to shut down Washington. He is a rookie, though, and he needs the pass blocking reps, in my opinion. Every rookie does. And I suspect if Genty is out for a long period of time, we're going to be seeing a three-man committee between Washington, Lobby, and I'm going to butcher this name, Ogunbowale.
Yeah, Ogunbowale. Yeah. Ogunbowale. Yeah, who's probably our best field goal kicker on our team right now, but that's a different subject. But no, and he, looking back on Thursday's game, is my impression of that performance in and of itself was you got the actual picture of what our run game is gonna look like, right? And I don't necessarily think Kubiak is we know he's not a one back type coach. He likes multiple backs. And so, yeah, if Genty does go down or is out for a significant amount of time, this is going to really test his coaching ability and Rick Dennison. And if some of you guys don't know Rick Dennison's history, these are the moments that he has shined as well, where Terrell Davis goes down. Now, he wasn't the direct offensive line coach, but he was there when this was happening. And he did the same thing once he became the offensive line coach and the offensive coordinator in Denver, and then later on the offensive coordinator, O-line coach in Houston, so on and so forth, is when your number one back goes down for a significant amount of time, we're still going to keep the train running. So that's the positive to look into and look into that. Is having a guy like Rick Dennison in the building to coach our line, that we can, it's like, okay, if Genty does go down, can we have a sustained success? It doesn't have to be an elite, doesn't have to be, let's face it, what was our run game last year? What were we ranked last year in the run game?
I don't know. Probably close to dead last.
Okay. So if we can split that in half, right? We'll split half and half. Let's say 30-second. Yeah, get up top 15, top 18 running game. That still gives us competitive balance, right? Still is going to keep us in games with that, So That's the positives out of it, is having Rick Dennison being able to coach up offensive line and put a running back behind it. Because they used to say all the time back in the day that it didn't matter who Denver got as a running back. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter. They find some guy walking down the street and say, hey, you want to play running back? They put him in. The guy's getting 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah.
You know, Michael Guerrero, thanks for coming in, brother. Thank you. But so we were going to talk about, so having the news that we got today, how do you think that affects the 53-man going forward if this is a catastrophic season-ending injury?
Well, assuming our fullback was lumped in with the tight ends, I was thinking we were going to have 3 running backs on the roster, and it was probably going to be Genty, Washington, and Lobby. Now, if Genty ends up going on the PUP or the IR, or however it works right now in the preseason, I have a feeling we'd end up going with 4 running backs, and that'd be Washington, Lobby, Ogumbawale, and Hemby.
Okay.
So, because I really think we're going to end up going with the 3-person rotation, and if any one of them goes down, then Hemby steps in and joins that rotation, and then Hemby would end up doing more special teams probably than Lobby, just because they want to keep Lobby for offense.
Yeah. To answer your question, Michael Guerrero, yes, he did get injured today in practice. Unknown the severity of the injury, but it is a knee injury. The circumstances are as follows. He was reaching for a ball that was low, and there was contact between him and Porter, I think it was, in some way or fashion. Yeah. Some way or fashion, he went down, and then he was helped off the field and couldn't bear weight on his leg. So Justice 412, thank you coming in. We was ranked 31st last year in total rushing yards for the season, which I don't know who the 32nd ranked team was, but they must have been really bad.
Might have been Arizona, because I know like all their running backs got hurt.
That's true.
And Infinite King saying I think Hemby will be number 2. I'm assuming you mean if Genty's hurt for a long period of time, you think Hemby will be 2. It's possible. I disagree right now. I think they will probably keep Lobby and Ogumbawale around just because they want veterans to help with the pass protection. Washington's a rookie and he's unreliable on that. And I'm going to say Hemby probably is right now too.
James Furpo's coming in on break. Yep. Got to give you the button, my friend.
I heard nothing.
So salute to him. You didn't hear it?
No.
What? Oh, you know what? The input's not right on that. That's why.
Because you got it set up for the phone call.
Yep, got it set up for the phone call. In order to use the soundboard, you got to change it. Or I just plug it into the phone call one. So I don't want to do that until we get this. Till we get this part, which I think is more important. We'll get this dialed in. Then I'll start looking at adding the Stream Deck into that. So because I can do it, but one of the things is feedback. So that's another thing we got to diagnose independently, so we don't get feedback. Anyways, continuing on with the show. But salute to you, James Furpo. Thanks for coming in, brother. So my take on it is yes, and I think, and this is my opinion, Washington has demonstrated so far in 2 preseason games, plus what we're getting from the reports from training camp, is that he's the real deal when he plays. Can he be the bell cow every down back? I think he's more of a change of pace back. Myself, somebody that can come in and now he's the type of guy that can steal carries, okay, throughout the game. You know, you might have your game plan might be 7 to 10 carries for him, and all of a sudden out of those 7 to 10 carries, he is just eating up yards. That 7 to 10 now turns into 12 to 15 to 18 carries, and he's stealing carries from the number 1 back right?
Yeah.
We talked about this after the draft, right? You got any different take on that?
No. Really, for Washington to really get more serious carries with Genty healthy, like he would have to start having big gains in the middle of the game for him to start taking more of that workload through the game. But I think every game it would have been Genty's the lead guy, and he keeps going until Washington starts picking up steam. And then if it did somehow work out to where just Washington's just completely outproducing Genty throughout the season, then I think they would start looking at that. As far as if Genty's out for a long period of time, then I think Washington will be in on most running downs, but it's also going to allow defenses to kind of key in on our offense. It's like, well, he's not as good at pass protecting, so either they keep the ball back in, which limits how many different types of passing routes we can have.
Yeah, let's get this call. Show me your shield. This is Raiders First Downs, Donuts Duncan. Who are we speaking with?
This is Black, the quarterback.
What's up, brother? What's up? How you doing?
What's up?
Okay, I hear both of y'all. Shout out to y'all. Just want to give a little love to the pod and talk about Genty a little bit. That's a topic du jour I see. So,
Yeah.
any new word or anything? Me personally, I'm hoping there's nothing more than a knee sprain. But you probably can't tell until some swelling go down and all that other stuff. So I think that'd be like the best case scenario.
Yeah. Well, yeah. What about? Go ahead, Duncan. What do you got on that?
We'll probably hear more tomorrow, probably around midday or so.
Yeah.
It's gonna like he said, it's gonna take some time to get all the actual tests to come in.
Yeah. One of the things too is for you guys and everybody in the chat, this is something to think about too, and just process this for just a second. That a lot of times they do the stability checks while they're on the field instantly or within close proximity to the injury. When they do those stability checks, they pretty much know. I mean, it's almost the way they do them now and how they're like, yeah, he's got a torn ACL, but we'll confirm it tomorrow with an MRI type thing. They're not saying anything about it. And the silence part of it isn't necessarily a bad thing either, right? I know everybody's clamoring, everybody's hungering for instant news because that's all they live off of is instant news. But you got to look at it from this perspective too. It would be negligent on the Raiders' part to come out and say, yeah, we think it's an ACL sprain, and tomorrow we find out, oh no, it's just a MCL sprain and it's a 2 to 4 week injury. So we'll be without him for maybe the first 2 games type thing, right?
Yeah, and real quick, I'll let our caller talk again right after this. It's also the Raiders. The Raiders don't report anything until a day after everybody's already reporting.
That's
and
another
they keep
aspect.
Everything hush hush. But,
Yep.
Black, the quarterback, you got anything else you want to add?
No, I'm just saying. Like you said, it'll probably be negligent to jump out the window and start speculating, or even just give the information when you don't have to.
Yeah.
And then that also help the other teams kind of figure us out, because one of the things that we want to keep in our keep our cards close to our chest, so we can keep that anonymity about the whole situation, and just prayers for Genty, and hopefully is not as bad, because when we don't have the information, the brain inserts information to try to close that gap, and just hopefully, it's not as bad as we're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I forget the specific type of injury, but I saw somewhere that with a contact directly to the knee, it could also be a specific type of injury where you pretty much lose all functionality instantly, and then after a couple of days it comes back. But I don't know. It's all speculation. It's all worry or hope or whatever it is. It's too early. We just got to wait for the team to announce it.
Yeah.
But,
and also too, I mean, there's a couple examples that go exactly like where you're at with this. Is a couple weeks ago, the Commanders had a player that got hurt and when you saw the play, I mean, it looked like his knee went north and the rest of his body went south, and it was not pretty. Like the whole air cast, and then they did all the tests, MRIs and everything, come back, oh yeah, it's a severe sprain. He'll be out 6 weeks minimum. It's like, I just saw his knee point in the wrong direction. What are you talking about? It had to be, nope, it's not. And then also too, to add to it, we had a particular quarterback that some people tend to admire, but he's the third string quarterback anyways, that one day was playing in Tampa Bay and went down with a knee injury. They airlifted him to the hospital with an air cast next day. It was a bone bruise. You know what I mean? And it's the same training staff that we're dealing with, right? So the fact is, with Duncan's part, what he brings to the table, and then using like an educational speculation to it as well on top of that, is like, okay, same training staff, same situation. We'll wait until the real stuff hits. There's no reason to get, like you said, there's no reason it'd be negligent to jump out the window when the building wasn't even on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're right. And plus anyway, the Raiders have the trend all off season is whenever there's been any kind of concern at all, they err to the side of caution. I mean, even like the JPJ thing, we don't really know what even happened to him. You know what I mean? So they're just gonna try to keep keep it close to their cards close to their chest, and then just let the intramural handle their business. They got that facility there for a reason. So
right, and some of the best medical equipment, and best medical staff that money can buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
I'm glad to hear that it's working.
Yeah, we're working just fine. But it's guys like you, Sam, that are supportive in every step of the way for our journey as well, and we'd like to return a favor to you as well with your shows as well. So if anybody out there in the chat, Business Decisions Sports,
This one right here.
If you go to his channel and subscribe, he is putting out some killer content. He also has a show that's called Fight or Flight, which is a huge debate-based show where he brings guests on to debate topics in a round-by-round scenario. I got to participate in the first one. There were some headaches at the beginning, but once we started to figure it out and everybody kind of got the idea of how we, it's like, one guy gets out on the dance floor and then another guy, before you know it, the whole dance floor started.
Right.
It started to flow. So it became, the first hour was rough, but after that, once we got going, it was like, this is his vision. And so I hope everybody.
The second show definitely was a lot better. Yeah, the second show was a lot better, and it's just going to get better the more and more people, participate in. I would love to have you guys. I would love to have you back, and Duncan. I want you to, we can talk O-line talk, or I want you to come on, because you got some knowledge too, and hopefully you can find some time and grace the pod with that.
Yeah. We'll just have to end up scheduling it so I can make sure I have time. But I'd definitely be down for that.
Duncan in a debate with some of those guys would be absolutely fire. It would be fire. It would be like they wouldn't know what to do. To be quite honest with you, they wouldn't know what to do.
I would know what to do.
Well, no, the thing of it is you do, but it's just the whole ambiance of it and how the presentation. It's like, I don't know if I can beat this guy. Yeah, you should just go ahead and take the L. Call JD up. I'm flight. JD's going, okay, I'll book. I'll get your tickets and your boarding pass for you right now.
Yeah.
I mean, like on these shows, we always debate on these shows already. We already debate on these shows, so I just thought it was a good idea for us to, it's not just for content creators because anybody can do it, but I thought we could lead the way as content creators, but it's also a good platform for us to get them to get us all together, and so we know who thinks what. Right. We jump around different each other's podcasts, broadcast, and then we kind of like, well, I don't know how this person feel about that particularly, and it's just a place where all of us can talk about it at the same time. So I just thought that would be a good idea.
Yeah. It doesn't hurt to chase that rabbit down the hole, because every once in a while you're going to grab that rabbit by the ears, pull it back up.
So I want to thank you guys. I'm going to jump off, and I'm going to get back in the chat. I just want to make sure you guys had your lines going. It sounds wonderful. You guys are doing an excellent job. Make sure y'all hit that like button for these fellas, because it's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that you guys may not even understand.
Yeah. I mean, if I could just put it in perspective, I probably got almost 40 hours into trying to solve this issue. That's right. I mean, I woke up one night, middle of the night, and I was messing with it until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was one of those deals. I don't know if you've ever had something like this. If you want to try and figure something out, you're going to figure it out, right? And fix it. Yeah. So it was like a challenge, and man, Duncan was there with me when when I got the fix in, and was able, because if you don't know, for you guys that don't know, just to kind of patch this system in takes like if you ever looked at a wiring diagram of a 19, or let's say a 2024 Chevy Silverado, and you look at the wiring diagram, you'd be like, that's basically what I got to do. I got to connect wires everywhere, and these are virtual wires. Right. There's not like wires you plug in and physically do it. You have to do it with virtual wires where you click, drag, connect, click, drag, connect, and get it to work that way. But I did get it, and now I got the tool in the tool bag, and we're ready to rock and roll, man. We appreciate you being on here. And if anybody else is in the chat, you hear what it is, you see how it works. We all know you got lips in an air box. Puff, puff, puff. Get in here. Dial that number. It's on the screen. Yeah. 209-232-5206. BDQ, thank you, brother. We'll talk later.
Yep. Thanks for calling.
All right, brother. Bye, Doug. All right, peace.
So, yeah, he's a pretty good dude, man. He's met up with him about a month and a half ago, and, we're the same age, only 7 months apart, and a lot of the same likes and dislikes and beliefs and things like that. So now I have a spam caller. Should we answer the spam call?
That's up to you.
Thank you for calling Show Me Your Shield. This is Raiders1stDowns.
Hey, it's Money Chuck. How you guys doing?
Money Chuck, what's happening, brother?
Man, I'm feeling a Charlie Brown kind of sadness. Mike Washington, can he catch?
Yes, he can catch.
He can catch.
Yeah. Yep. He can catch out of the backfield. His suspect is
go ahead.
His suspect is pass blocking, picking up the blitz and pass blocking. That's going to be his suspect. And he's had a couple plays. There was one play in the Arizona game where he caught it at the last minute, but yet it still got a little too close to the quarterback. So those are things he needs to work on, because I don't think he was asked to do that too much in college. Man, that sounds familiar, doesn't it? Wasn't asked to do too much of that in college. But anyways, you can Money Shot, can you hear Duncan?
Go ahead.
Hey, my partner.
I've got my TV turned down.
Okay, but you can hear Duncan
him over the phone, I think.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing right now. That's nice.
Yeah, I can hear you, brother.
Sweet.
Cool. That's what we were shooting for. And remember the other show, we'll get that fixed on that show as well, now that I've got the assets and the problem fixed. So we can, on Saturday nights, we'll be able to do the same thing.
What really scares me is, so we're already passing by committee outside of Brock Bowers. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We've got to have something to feature. How confident are we into featuring Mike Washington? I hear that we're going to. I hear you guys saying run by committee, but look at this committee. It's crap. It's crap outside. Other than Mike Washington.
Yeah, the saving grace. Go ahead, Duncan. Go ahead and answer that.
No, I completely agree with them. Our committee is pretty terrible. I mean, we got Labe, who had 2 carries in the NFL so far and fumbled both of them. And then we got Ogunbowale, who was on the Texans chopping block, who they released, which allowed us to pick him up. And then we got Mike Washington, a rookie, and then Hemby, who is a UDFA. Like, our committee is terrible, but the problem is Mike Washington's a rookie, and no coaching staff in the NFL trusts a rookie in pass protection. Granted, we have a fullback now, but when you leave that fullback in there to protect the rookie running back's weaknesses, it limits your offense. So, unfortunately, even though our committee's not that great, the other 2 guys that would be in the committee are better at pass pro than Washington, which opens up the offense more.
No.
And so even though the talent level's not there, the offense will be there. So it will balance out a little bit better that way.
Yeah.
Another thing that concerns me is I know people disagree with me on this, but I really think that Kubiak was going to bell cow him. I think he was going to give him 20 or more carries a game. And I think that we prepared, for it. And now this completely pulls the rug, out from underneath our feet.
Yeah.
If they got to reformulate what they're going to be doing, even if it's for 6 weeks, I mean that's quite a change in the game plan.
Yeah, but Kubiak does come from historically his background through his dad, Mike Shanahan, and the likes of Rick Dennison. And I just mentioned Rick Dennison. Of all people to have on your staff in this situation, that's the one you want, because he's going to be able to build a formula to make the next guy successful. He's got a proven track record in that. Okay, so that in and of itself, this is where he's going to make his money in this situation. Okay, so that's one of the things that's some of the optimism. And like I said earlier, Money Check, and I've said this many times to you before, I love Ashton Genty, man. I do. I love him. But in this situation in and of itself is we still got 17 games to play, and there's no reason for us to feel sorry for ourselves. And let's get going. And next man up. This is a perfect example of next man up. I'll be quite honest with you.
I will also say that this is going to put a lot more pressure on the receiving room to really step up, and it generate a lot more opportunities for the young guys. If Naylor and Tucker aren't pulling their weight, all of a sudden we're going to see more Besh. Maybe Bennett starts catching footballs. Heck, maybe the UDFAs, EJ Williams, and then the kid out of BYU, all of a sudden they start getting more targets, because they're going to have to generate the offense through something.
I don't mean to be continuous pessimist, but I'll tell you what: if I had to put money on it, on JPJ or Colton Miller missing some game time this year, it'll probably happen, and it seems like it happens early in the season too. So I mean, this could be a very bad recipe. You know what I'm saying, for things to come the first half of the season. Yeah. Let's just hold our breath and hopefully it's a sprain or something that's going to keep them out a few weeks. But if we're talking 6 to 8 games or more, we're up shit creek.
Yeah, but with the exact scenario that you're providing, Money Chuck, I'm going to go back to Rick Dennison and just hold that candle to that by having him in the building as our offensive line coach. That. Because he has a track record of these exact same scenarios and he's produced 1,000-yard running backs that literally were walking down the. This is a little facetious and way out, but he's the type of guy that you go out, you see guy walking down the street, looks like a running back. Hey, you ever play running back? No, you want to? Yep, okay. Next thing you know, he's a 1,000-yard running back. He's that kind of coach. Yeah, He's in the upper echelon of all-time offensive line coaches in the history of NFL. I put him in that category.
You know, I would take more comfort in what you're saying if this was year 2 in this rebuild, but this is year 1. Other than Zoom, we really got no new personnel to this offensive line.
Well,
everybody else is pretty much improved. Oh, okay. We got Linderbaum.
Yeah, that's a big one right there. Yeah.
We can't be fully confident in what we have in Charles Grant or Caleb Rogers, or even DJ Glaze for that matter.
Right.
We're still scratching our heads over that. I think I think this was a year for Rick Dennison to find out what these guys have.
Which
Yeah.
and just like that, and you're absolutely 100% right with that. But I'm just going to keep going with you with this as well. This is where he earns his money, and he has a track record of it. So that's the consolation prize that we're looking at right now. Okay, so it's like, okay, let's not be doom and gloom. We know we got a really good offensive line coach. There is going to be some semblance of improvement either way. Just I will bang the table for. We are going to absolutely be a better run team than last year, no doubt about it. I mean, it was just, I don't want to talk about. I'm tired of talking about last year, but that's a proven fact. Duncan, what say you?
Also, to add to you mentioned Caleb Rogers not having full confidence in him. He is currently competing with JPJ for the number 1 spot. So, at least to me, the evidence is showing that they're seeing Rogers as almost an equal to JPJ or an exact equal because they're competing for it. So I'm not too concerned with a JPJ injury. Besides that, JPJ picks up a lot of stupid, unnecessary penalties after plays. The Miller injury, I'd be very worried about that. But I will say, so far in preseason, Grant has been looking pretty dang good. And I don't think he's actually given up a pressure this offseason. He might have given up one.
No.
But Grant's been looking pretty good. And they've been mostly focusing on keeping him on that left side, practicing there. So he's going to be fully ready as best as he can be to take over if Miller does get hurt.
No.
How confident in Glaze are you guys?
Not a lot, because he still has his glaring weakness, which is his stone feet.
He's got he's got stone feet.
I will say he should be quite a bit decent better than last year, because they're going to have a lot better communication this year. There's going to be a little bit less thinking going on at the line of scrimmage and during the play. So that will help his feet a little bit. But as far as like the pure speed rushers that are just naturals at it, he's still going to struggle against them. So he's going to have a rough time against the Broncos, and expect to be seeing a lot of 12, 22, and 13 personnel where they have a tight end chipping on his side.
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk to me.
No problem, Money Chuck.
Let's stay united, and let's be positive. That's about all we can do.
That's all we can do. And for those of you guys, including Money Chuck, those of you guys in the morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, there's a radio show called The Morning Tailgate with Vinny Bonsignor and Vinny Osmond. It's a really good show. Those guys have a tendency to have a little bit more than anybody else when it comes to the information that we need. Vinny Bonsignor is a very reliable source. Huge reliable.
What's the name of the station?
It's AM 920.
AM 920.
It's KRLV in Las Vegas. AM 920. If you go down to if you have any streaming apps or anything like that where you can stream radio stations, plug that in, and then you should be able to get it. Also, too, if I'm not mistaken, on the Raiders.com, you can listen to it then. But I think it's delayed, isn't it? It's delayed.
I don't think it's delayed. If it is delayed, it's like not even a minute delay.
Not a minute.
Also,
okay.
If you have the Raiders app, you can play the radio station through the app too.
Yeah, the KRLV.
Oh,
radio.
I've got the app.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just surf through that.
Got the app.
If not, and actually too, if you want, do you have a laptop or a standalone type computer that you can work off of?
Sure do.
Okay, you can just type in AM 920 Las Vegas in the Google search. That'll pop up. Click on that. It'll take you to their webpage, and you can do the same thing on their webpage. You can listen to it live.
Yep.
And then also too, they record it and file it. So if you missed it, you can go back later on in the day and listen to it as well. But as far as up to date information and what's going on, those guys, I don't know, Duncan. What about you? I think to me, that's about 95% the best information that we get at this time
Yeah.
from.
So as far as the Raiders radio shows go, I do think they're probably the best show when it comes to news and information. Your boy Q, he's also very good. He's got 2 different shows. He's got the
Awesome.
Raiders.
Always watching Q.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And Q
is
Q.
very good. But
Same
in the
radio
morning
station.
show, they usually have a lot of insiders come on, and then they also have the guys from Tape Don't Lie pop on. Jesse Merrick's been a regular guest now for a few months. He's really good. So they're constantly having guys.
Oh, no, he's on JT.
No, yeah. They're constantly having guys that are completely up to date with the information and will give their opinions based off of actually like watching the practices and stuff. So it's a really good show.
I'll check it out. I'll let you gentlemen go, and salute to the chat. You guys take it easy, okay?
Thank you, brother. Yeah, we're going to get back to the chat. We appreciate the phone call, Money Chuck. Anytime you're welcome in here, brother.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah. Real quick, let's hit up the chat.
Yeah, we got Alex in Rosetown coming in.
Yeah, Rosetown popping in. Salute. What's up? Alex also, like you mentioned. Ezekiel Guevara Amaya. What's up, guys? Can you do a prank? Call somebody in people's yard. We could. Not going
We
to.
could, but we're not going to.
But yeah, and then you had this popped up. Rosetown saying Washington will be the number 1 if Genty is out, and have Labe and Hemby put in work now. Kubiak will know how to use them in the passing game as well. Hemby, I think, ends up being an honorable mention because I think Ogunbowale would end up being part of the 3-man rotation just because he's a vet and he's a very good pass protector when it comes to the passing game. If they don't want to have a fullback in at the time. But like
I had him. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, I do think it would end up being Washington, Lobby, and Ogunbowale. And I do think if Genty is hurt for a long period of time, Hemby does make the roster too. We'll carry 4 running backs. And then our fullback will be counted as a tight end on the roster because he can play tight end and fullback. So they're definitely going to keep heavier personnel with that, especially with Genty banged up.
Yeah. I had him be coming back on the practice squad no matter what.
Even with the injury?
Yeah, I think Ogunbowale is going to leapfrog him. And if we do go 3-man running back, and let Hemby go to the practice squad, even then. But also too, Hemby has showed in the last couple weeks a huge step forward in his game. But like you said, Ogunbowale, he's a veteran. You know, he's got real NFL carries and he's got real NFL yards and real NFL production. You know, it might be at an RB3 situation, but still he has that.
Plus, he's a really good player when it comes to special teams. Not just kicking, but he is usually on the protection teams and also on the kick returns. So
when I saw we signed him,
the whole team.
Yeah, when I saw we signed him, I was like, oh, that's the guy that he kicked the field goal for the Texans when their kicker got hurt. Oh yeah. It was a real kick. It wasn't like some drunk guy coming out of the stands for a 10,000-yard prize at halftime. It was a real NFL kick.
Yeah.
So,
and then Roston also saying Genty will sit out a few games and come back better than ever. Still hopeful. It may end up being a thing where he doesn't sit out games, but maybe he's not used as the workhorse as much early on, just because they're trying to be cautious with him. Personally, I mean, based off of our past, I would rather just sit him until he's pretty much over 90% good. Because too many times have we brought a player back because they want to play and they're not ready, and then they end up making it worse. Max is a prime example with him making his injuries worse.
And then with Brock Bowers last year too, they probably played him an extra game or two when they shouldn't have. They should have set him a game or two sooner.
Yeah. he sat week 4 and 5.
Yeah, but he should have been sat he should have been sat by week 2.
Sat as soon as week 1 ended. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as yeah. Well, at least after, because week 2 was when you can really see it was hindering him.
Well,
And
no,
it was like, okay,
you saw the hit week 1. Geno Smith was also hurt week 1 too. He had that knee injury, but Geno played through the whole thing, and
yeah,
it definitely affected him. And I know a lot of people didn't realize he was hurt for the majority of that season. But yeah, Geno was he was struggling that whole season.
yeah. All right, those of you guys that are in here, 18, 20, 22 people at any given time in here. We have a call-in show. As you heard, Money Chuck, who's in the chat all the time, he came in. He gave us some really good dialogue. Just remember, your number is not available. We've got it incognito, so they don't see your phone number. You can talk to both of us on the phone, and we can have a real good conversation and talk about what we're talking about tonight. Hopefully when football season kicks off, we'll be doing this on Sunday nights as well. And if you guys want to come in and, it's like, I don't want to text. I don't want to chat. I just want to call, because sometimes calling makes it that much better. So, but anyways, get back to where we're at. Like I was talking with Money Chuck, and the saving grace is the fact that we have the offensive line coach that we have, who has been down this road before. You know what I mean? He's got he's battle tested when it comes to this situation. So that's the positive in this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And knowing that Mike Washington, is he a bell cow? No, because he only had like 170 carries at Arkansas. It wasn't like he was true intent. So that's a positive and a negative. The negative being he doesn't have as many carries at the SEC level. Still had over 1,000 yards with a huge yards per average, right? But on the flip side, on the positive side of it is there's still a lot of tread on those tires.
Yeah,
he's coming off a season. He wasn't worn down. So it's almost like, well, we can pop him in, and if we need to get 250 carries out of him this season, we can get 250 carries out of him. And it's not going to be – and he's a specimen, too, when it comes to – when you look at his physique and his body makeup and his work ethic, he's a specimen. So he definitely can take the workload. It's just whether or not he can produce, because his superhero power is that getting to that second level. That's his superhero power. So not pushing the pile, not taking a shot in the hole. It's his superpower is get to that second level and go. Just go. Yeah. So
he's kind of like those old school one-cut running backs. Honestly, not too unfamiliar or not too crazy to compare him to McFadden.
In a roundabout way. I mean, he's got
that long stride, one cut. Like they look pretty similar running the ball.
Yeah.
Kind of stands up a little bit like McFadden. Not as much, but
not as much. McFadden was. I mean, Washington's not short by running back standards. He's pretty much above average height for a running back. But it seemed like McFadden was. McFadden. Then again, he wore those wide shoulder pads too.
He wore the big
so he. Yeah. And then my only thing with McFadden is when you got below his knees, his ankles and his calves didn't match his thighs and his upper body.
Yeah.
It was kind of different looking, but yeah, he still had power. He had speed. It just he couldn't stay healthy. I mean,
yeah. Hopefully that's not the issue with Washington.
Yeah, or Genty.
Yeah.
Or Genty.
I know Genty's the hot topic and all. I mean, because the news just broke and all that. But business decision saying McFadden was easier to tackle, toe tackle. Yeah. But anyways, I really wanted to talk about Jermod McCoy because
oh my god,
preseason, the first preseason game to the second one, leaps and bounds strides better.
Yeah. Let me answer this phone real quick. It's coming in from Worlds Unknown here. Hey, this is Show Me the Shield. Raiders First Downs with my co-host Donuts Duncan. Who we talking to?
Hello?
Hello. You're on live.
What kind of radio show is this?
Well, it's the type of radio show that you dream of having.
The kind that you called into.
It's the one that you called into.
So, what do you guys talk about?
Did your girlfriend break up with you? Are you crying, laughing, leaving, loving? Tell us what's on your mind.
I'm not stable.
We know that. That's obvious, Captain.
What's up, boys? What's going on?
What's up?
What's up? What's up? Hey, this works out pretty good. I can hit Duncan just fine. Unfortunately, I can hit Jason, too.
Yeah, well, Jason's controlling it, so yeah, you're going to be stuck with it.
Well, I can mute my mic.
Yeah,
you guys just carry on a conversation, I guess.
Well, it'd be like a normal Saturday night for you, then.
Well,
I can't wait till we get this set up that way next week. That'll be great.
It will be.
But, hey, yeah, that was kind of shitty news to hear today, huh?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm keeping optimistic just like I am for the season, no matter what we do, win or loss-wise. I look at it this way. There's no sense in overreacting. Like, some people are ready to jump off the buildings for this shit.
Yeah.
You know, the team's not saying anything yet whether how bad it really is. You know, I mean, they're going to keep it close to the vest for now until they know for sure.
No.
You know, I'm sure they've got an idea of what it is, but they're not going to put it out there just yet. So, Raider Nation just has to sit tight. Don't jump to conclusions.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God we've got a viable fill-in for him for whatever time he will miss, because I've got all the faith in the world in Mike Washington. After him, obviously, like you guys already said, it drops off big time. You know, the shelf is very short after him.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, and I already looked at the free agent listings to what's out there, and there ain't crap out there.
No.
Pretty much.
No.
I mean, you can bring Mostert back, but no thank you.
Yeah.
Antonio Gibson is still out there.
Yeah.
I think that's about the biggest names. I'm not 100% positive.
I think Connors from Arizona is going to get released.
He's still
If he does, that would be an intriguing pickup, seeing that he just came off the same type of injury himself.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think he's going to studying the tea leaves there in Arizona. It kind of sounds like he's like the 3B running back, not the third, not the second, but he's like 3B right now. So
I agree with that.
So I could see him being cut. And then there's going to be there's probably going to be some other viable veterans that hit the open market once cuts are made.
Well, and that's the other thing too. And with us having first options, we'll be first on the waiver. That helps too, because we could grab the best of the best that's available. Granted, I mean, they really consider the best of the best. They are getting cut, but sometimes, like I said, they don't get necessarily cut because they're bad. They get cut because of cap reasons sometimes.
Or no room.
Yeah, no room for the room, you know, for whatever position they're in. You know, rookie they brought in just totally outshine that player and doesn't fit well with that system and could fit better with us too, you know? I mean, so there's optimism here. Just fans have to just chill and not be so doom and gloom about this. I'm not.
Yeah.
You know, until the reports come out 100% positive on the good or the bad of what's going on with him, then okay. So anybody that's ready to push the panic button, slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I do think most of the panic being pushed is from Raider fans that have Genty on their fantasy football team.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's understandable, especially if you're in a money league and he's your first running back. Yeah, you're going to be a little nervous right now.
Well, there's fans of, I heard even on Rodney's show before we came on, he was talking about how some of the guys that aren't Raider fans, that are like Bronco fans or Titan fans that play fantasy football, that get Genty on their fan, they just had their draft, they got Genty, and now all of a sudden this, it's like, Well, that's what you guys get for doing your fantasy draft before the preseason's over. So
Yep.
live with the consequences. Pick at your own risk, as I like to tell people when they do fantasy football. So,
Well, one of the leagues I'm in, it's all the content creators, a lot of guys from like the AFC West and shit.
let's just check them.
They were going to do their draft. They were going to do their draft a week ago, and I said, "Are you crazy?" I said, "If we're going to do it, let's do it after the 53-man roster cuts."
Yeah.
I said, because there's a chance that especially with 14 teams in that league, you're going to have a player that's going to get cut.
Yep.
It's going to happen. You know, because you're going to be going so deep into rosters that you're going to have players that will get cut, and then you're going to be like, "Oh crap, now what?"
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But I don't know if you caught earlier when we were talking, and we were talking to Money Chuck when he called.
Yeah, I heard the whole conversation with him.
Okay, well, and we'll just espouse on that a little bit. Like I was telling Duncan, if you want to chime in at any moment, please feel free. But I think the saving grace in this type of situation is we have an offensive line coach that has been down this road before. Mm-hmm. Okay, when Terrell Davis went down, did they stop? No. Here come Ruben Drone. Boom, 1,400 yards rushing. It did, and the same thing when Arian Foster went down. Boom, they were still clicking off 100-yard, 150-yard rushing attacks. So that's the saving grace. He's been down this road before. It's like if Kubiak is nervous, just look to Uncle Rico, because bottom line is that you brought him here for a reason, and that's the reason why he's here, on top of everything else that goes into building that offensive line. So that's the saving grace in this.
See, what I think fans don't realize sometimes is it doesn't matter how great your running back is. It depends on how good your offensive line is. So you could have a top-notch offensive line, and they'll make a third-string running back look like an all-pro. You know what I'm saying? It's the old, just like the thing, the next man up. So it doesn't matter how great the running back is. If you've got a fantastic O-line in front of you, they'll make any running back look like a superstar.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, and that's the good thing about Dennison. I still don't think we've got that right mix of guys on this offensive line roster right now to say that, I think we're still a couple players away, or a couple years, or maybe a year away from some more experience on some of these guys to really get to that next level, when building that offensive line towards something that's going to be around for a long time,
right,
and actually have an impact with these running backs. And thank God we drafted Mike Washington, to be honest with you.
Thank God we signed Linderbaum.
And that too.
Could you imagine if our running back room? Could you imagine if our running back room was Ogunbowale, Lobby, and Hemby?
Yeah, and that could happen. That could happen.
Again, if we had a top line offensive line, then I wouldn't be as nervous. But without that top tier set of guys up front, across the board, not just one or two spots, but across the board of all five, and I wouldn't be so nervous with those two guys back there, because they'll still get their play, they'll still get their yardage.
Yeah.
So it's not even like we can rely on the passing game, to the receivers at least, to the tight ends. Yeah, I can count on that.
Yeah.
But
Also
let's take.
Go
ahead.
It also broadens our worry, because Jason and I have been talking about the depth on the linebackers a lot. And it's if one of our two main guys go down, our linebackers are pretty thin. Well, this goes to show it's not just the linebackers that are thin. Our running backs are thin. We have some confidence in Washington because he's got that high play capability, but our other positions, our receivers are already shallow because we don't have any high-end talent there.
No.
Our DBs are all young. They're all scrapping to try to get on the field, and they're showing mistakes in the preseason. What about our safeties? We got Palomau, Chin, and Stukes. Then we also have the 5th-round rookie that we drafted, Johnson. We're pretty shallow across the board on this team.
Yeah, and you didn't even touch it yet, but what about the defensive tackles, too? Now it seems like we've got a question mark with our tackles now on defense.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another major concern that you just saw again this past week. That's another weak spot for us, that we thought we were going to be good. On paper, we looked like we were going to be fine, but when, the rubber meets the road with the games we've played, it's like, not so much. Yeah. And after watching Big McDonald out there for Houston, I was like, man, I forgot how big he was, to be honest
He's massive.
with you. I mean, you saw how big he was in college, but then when I saw him lining up with they were showing the camera from the end zone, looking at the backside of the Texans players, and I saw him out there. I'm like, my God, he looks even bigger in the NFL than he did in college.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy is a beast, and he was getting in the backfield quite a bit,
Yep.
So it's like, man, I wish we would have had him.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Stooks and everything now, but I would have much rather had that nose tackle now, that defensive tackle.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Yeah. But you also notice, too, with McDonald, he is working with the twos as well. So, and that's just, I think,
True.
be quite honest with you, looking at the whole draft that came out this last year, there's nobody that is really popping. Love, I think, is the only one, and he's hurt, too. He's going to be out, about a month,
All the Cardinals
maybe?
draft picks are hurt.
Yeah, all of their draft picks got hurt. So, I mean, everybody, I mean, when we were, a couple weeks ago when the roster came out, a lot of people were banging on Spy Tech because your second round and third round picks are number 2 on the depth chart. Why is that? You should be embarrassed. And I'm thinking, no, you shouldn't, because first of all, this is just a preliminary depth chart. So it's it's a rough draft to a rough draft, in all honesty. And then when I heard that, I was like, okay, hold on a second. So I started looking at let me look at who came after Fernando. That would have been the kid that went to the Jets. That
The guy
what
from
the hell is
Texas Tech, Bailey.
right? Anyways, he was second on their depth chart with the Jets. And then you had other players throughout the draft.
Bailey?
Huh? Bailey. There you go.
Bailey.
Hey. Yeah. And then you look at Reuben Bain, second on the depth chart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's in a roundabout way. It's like, let's not jump out the building like we're talking about now, because the building's not on fire, just so you know. So we don't have to jump out the building on that. So
To be fair, though, that's what this class was being labeled as before they were drafted. Is like, this is going to be a very deep, talented class where it's not going to have the top end talent, but you're going to have those guys that are going to be in the league for tens of years, where they're consistently helping the team win.
Yep. Yeah. And we knew that going into the draft, and it's like, and some people, and I mean, I don't mean to bring up a sore subject or pick at a scab and make it bleed anymore, but that's the same thing with Fernando. I was taking Fernando with the number 1 pick. It's just like, what other options are? I mean, who would be the number 1 pick, right?
Well, that's what we talked about on Thursday night when I was on with 805, and he asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we didn't have the first round, the number 1 overall pick, or we didn't take Mendoza number 1 overall, who would you take number 1? And I said, and you're right. I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I said, to be honest with you, I said, it really wasn't a consensus. This is the best guy in the draft. I mean, Mendoza was basically number 1 because basically it was us and the Jets at 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So either one of us were going to end up with him.
Go ahead, Duncan.
I will say that, Jeff, you had a live stream where you were doing the drafts, like you're just simulating drafts, and in the comments I was saying that if we're going to trade back, then we need to be able to find a way to load up on the draft picks for 2027. That's where the value would have come from. Problem with that is you're pretty much signaling you're sacrificing this year to the fans. So you're still going to have the fill in the stadium issue. At least Mendoza will give you some hype for that and will help fill the seats, especially when he actually starts. People are going to show up even if we're losing.
Yeah, but also too, when we discussed it on Jeff's show as well, is this year's number 1 pick in 2026 doesn't have the same value as 2025 or 2027. So the trade back, we wouldn't have got nearly the draft capital on a trade back than we would have, say, last year or next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
Well, and that's the dilemma of if say Mendoza wasn't even in the draft, who would have been the first overall? There wasn't that higher echelon talent that would say, yes, he's the bona fide number one overall pick. We want to move up and take that number one from you. What do you want? What do you want from us to make this happen? I guarantee there were probably, if any, maybe one or two teams that called us and said, "Hey, what do you think?"
Yeah.
And it probably just wasn't enough of a value to move up.
Yeah.
To move back either.
Yeah.
Which sucked. But
yeah. The Jets were already locked into what their plan was already in place, what they were going to do anyways. I don't think they were going to come up to one.
Yeah, because they knew we were going to take Mendoza. So
Arizona, from what I understand, Arizona made a few calls, but they also too went, you know what? If they're hesitant on Mendoza and he slips, we know the Jets aren't going to take him, and so we'll take him at 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, we'll just sit here. We're just going to sit here. We're not going to give up draft capital at number 3 for that. So, and I know you said we were, like you were saying, I just feel like we're pigeonholed, but we really weren't. We really weren't pigeonholed because the plan was already in place. You bring in Cousins and then maybe execute a proper draft in 2027. But that doesn't guarantee. Kicking the can down the road is the worst thing we can do at this point because we've been doing it since 2021, kicking the can down the road. So there comes a point in time where you just got to pull the trigger, and run it. And in all honesty, and I've said this many times, sometimes it's just a matter of the right coach and the right quarterback, the combination of the two that makes it successful. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think with the pigeonhole comment that was more before Mendoza's pro day.
Mm-hmm.
Like when at that point, all we had on our roster was Aiden O'Connell. There were no other quarterbacks. It was just him.
No. Because I clearly
when I was saying
no, I clearly said that we're not pigeonholed. We signed Kirk Cousins.
No, I know that. But what I said earlier was I feel like we're pigeonholed into taking him, but that was prior to us getting Kirk Cousins. That was prior.
No, that was after. That was after. We had already.
It after?
Yeah, that when you made that. No, because if you go back and you watch, we signed Kirk Cousins. We're not pigeonholed. We can run with Kirk Cousins if we wanted to.
Oh yeah,
But that's not the plan.
Well,
that's not that. The draft is going to be based off 2027 to 2028 team philosophy. It's not going to be 2026. Is not the only reason why we're making the pick.
Yeah.
So
I just found it funny that the day after Mendoza's pro day, where you go and sign Kirk Cousins, it's like, okay, so are they not sold on him?
Oh no,
At
they
this
were sold.
Even though they're saying all the right things. Well, even though they weren't saying, well, yeah, they weren't coming out and saying, oh yeah, this stuff, which they're not going to. They're not going to show their hand before the draft.
No.
No. But I just found it intriguing that they went out right away and. I mean, this is something that they had already been talking to him prior to, supposedly, for like the month or so beforehand anyway.
I will say that, I mean, we knew the contract details of Kirk Cousins before the draft also. So, like, it was very easy to tell that he was not going to be our long-term solution.
Yeah,
he was going to not be on our roster next year. We're going to draft a quarterback. And so it was always, he was familiar with the system, and he's going to be competing for the starting job with that contract that he has. And he made it make sense for him to where he's going to be allowed to compete for that job to try to earn that better contract when he does get cut off our roster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he came into a better position here than he was in Atlanta, because he went to Atlanta and all of a sudden they turn around and they draft the quarterback after, pretty much without even saying anything to him.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. He came to the Raiders already knowing that they're going to be drafting this kid and that he's the short-term answer until Mendoza's ready, which is totally understandable. And obviously he understood that. I mean, this is his one last chance to come out, produce, put on a show, get some more film footage for him so he can, maybe he's got another year or two left with another team.
Also, too, to get the bad taste out of his mouth from Atlanta, too, because if it's one good year with the Raiders, maybe that's just enough to suffice. Hey, I can stamp my career, be happy with what I did, and ride off into the sunset. Because going out,
especially if we have especially if we have like a weird successful season for some reason,
right?
It's going to be like, well, he's the main reason why we were so good,
right? Yeah, that's kind of the roundabout way. That's the exact same way I was looking at it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but hey, real quick, let's jam through the chat real quick. We got Eric Gomes in here. Thanks for coming in. Bang bang Niner gang. Ain't no thing. Oh. Yeah, we know you that you guys don't own the Bay Area. You just borrowing it from us. But anyways, brother Yaya, salute for coming in here, brother. Saw a guy practice reported. So another one here with Jaw Raider coming in saying that he believes that Kirk Cousins low ball. Genty had to dive for it, got injured. The blame goes to Kirk Cousins. I'm not going to point blame. You can't blame another person for your injury. Unless they were doing something reckless, like intentionally reckless.
Like something deliberate.
Yeah. So,
Arizona draft picks are all hurt. It's rough for them. Their first 4 draft picks?
Yeah,
all hurt.
First 4.
Yeah, their offensive lineman's down and out. Love's down and out right now. Who else was that?
Beck.
Who else did they grab?
Beck, their 3rd-round pick, is out.
Yeah, that's right. Forgot about him, too.
And Basantes had a catastrophic knee injury, too, didn't he?
Yeah, their 2nd-round pick. Yeah.
I think
that sucks because I liked Basantes. I wanted him.
Yeah. But we weren't going to get him.
We could have.
No.
Well, no, because Arizona picked ahead of us in the 2nd round.
Oh, no, that's true. Yep. Yeah, we couldn't have got him.
Unless we traded up.
Oh, we could have. We could have moved up, but yeah.
Well, Baltimore could have let us kept the draft picks, and we could have drafted.
Exactly.
We could have taken him with the 14th pick. Yeah.
Well, we could have got Vega.
Damn it! Stop reminding me of that.
Yeah, that's.
But
Jeff still wakes up with cold sweats. Yeah, I think so.
That would have changed our draft so much if we had that pick.
Yeah. But I think keeping
it is what it is.
I think keeping Maxo is going to help a little bit more with the growth of the defense with Robbie Leonard and the rest of the young guys as well. So
as long as he stays healthy.
As long as he stays healthy and makes plays. That's what it's going to come down to. Make plays.
All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let you guys get someone else on there if they want to call.
Thanks.
How long are you guys on for?
I don't know. Until we get tired of doing the show, I guess. What, 5-6 more hours?
Well, if we keep
all right, I'm out. Later, guys. I'm glad the phone system's working the right way, though. This is good.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Bye.
Nice and clear, too, both of you, by the way. The sound quality's awesome.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Well,
yeah. No,
Skipper tested and approved by the company, I guess.
Yeah. No, that's good. But getting back to Jermon McCoy, from preseason week 1 to preseason week 2, he looked a lot more comfortable. It may really be just him getting his football feeling back to really start taking off.
Yeah. Yeah. And really, in all honesty, if you go back and you watch those 2 touchdowns that he gave up, those are just little things that he'll learn to fix that. Because he didn't get beat by athleticism. He just got beat by a technique.
Yeah, and good throws.
Right.
I mean, the throws were thrown outside where he had no chance of getting to it. I mean, he wasn't in proper position to fight for it, but it's
well, the one was he was just needed to get his head around it. He never did. And then the second one was kind of similar, but going to give the receiver a little bit credit. He got away with a little bit of a push off to get some clearance to get that catch as well.
Yeah, but it's the NFL. You're going to have to fight through that stuff. What comes around goes around. Like if the receivers are allowed to push a little bit, you're allowed to play with their hand fight with them too.
Yeah, knock that hand away. knock that hand away.
It's really encouraging how much more crisp and more I don't know, energized he looked. Because the first game, he was on the field, but it didn't look like how he was playing in college. This last preseason game, it looked a lot more like that. So it's encouraging to me that it may just be he needs to get that feel of playing football again, and we may have the steal of the draft right there. Because McCoy was one hell of a player before his injury.
Yep. Yeah, and if we can get that, and it's going to take time, just like you said, he's got to get his feet up underneath him and get that confidence back, and where that knee is no longer, he's not thinking about it, he's just playing football.
Yeah.
And doing his thing, and you can see a little bit of it this last preseason game. He gave up one 13-yard pass, and if you watch the play, it was just sometimes you got to give the receiver credit. It's gonna happen. Even the best of the best of even the Darrelle Revises and the Champ Baileys and stuff, they gave up passes too. It's just how many did they give up? That's the
also
difference.
Depends on what season, because Darrelle Revis had easily the greatest cornerback season ever.
Yeah, close. I think Lester Hayes' was better.
Oh, yeah, but look at the guys Revis was covering though. Revis was legitimate covering the absolute best receivers in the game at the time that season. Completely shut down Randy Moss twice, shut down Chad Johnson, shut down Megatron. I don't remember if he played Fitzgerald. I think he played Fitzgerald. But he played the best receivers in the league at the time pretty much every single week and shut them all down.
No. Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from Darrelle Revis. It's just sometimes I just think, my guy, he needs gold jacket, because you can look back at that. 13 interceptions. Technically, he had 17 or 16, and 3 of them were called back on bullshit penalties that, somebody did a block in the black on the opposite side of the field. Yeah, it's a penalty, but God damn it had nothing to do with the play. So it's either A, why throw the flag, or B, why did you hit him in the back? You didn't even have to. That was stupid, And in the Stickum thing, one, it was legal still, so he wasn't breaking rules.
Yeah,
and 2,
the problem is that's kind of his mantra. That's what he's known for.
That's what they.
He's
it's
the
the
player that was labeled with it.
But I mean, he still was All-Pro Defensive Player of the Year, and because in all honesty, Stickum didn't help him cover people.
And he still had to be in position for it.
Yeah, and he still covered some of the best wide receivers in the history of the game, and Charlie Joyner and Jefferson and Steve Largent and trying to name some other wide receivers back then. And it was a different game. I'll give you that. It was a different game, but his style of play was just, and as big as he is, he's as big as me. And he played cornerback. And he did it at such a high level. And there was 5-6 year run that, even the 83 Raiders, he was, the only thing that was really hurting that defense was they kept going away from him to Otis McKinney's side when, because they knew they weren't going to complete the pass on Lester. Lester was just, his wingspan and everything, it was just, he could recover just off of his wingspan,
Yeah.
It wasn't until we went and got Mike Haynes that finished that. And then when we made the run into the Super Bowl, that was that Washington Redskins defense, who at the time was the highest scoring defense in the history of the NFL at the time, we shut them down. Literally just stoned them.
I'm sorry. I just saw something in chat that just made me crack up.
What's that? The Santa Clara Whiners?
No, this one.
Niners are America's team. Yeah, I bet you they are.
More like Niners are America's hospital.
Yeah. The Niners are filling up the clinic fast.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just is what it is. But once again, Call in. Show me your shield live. 209-232-5206. You guys have heard it. You seen it. You guys need to get in here and test the professor, man. If you guys think you got it, come in and test him. Because if you don't, it makes me think you guys are scared. Don't be scared. Just come on in, test your knowledge, see what you got.
It's not even about that. Like, come in.
Oh, come on. I'm trying to pump it up a little bit.
Bring up something that you want to talk about or you want to hear other people's opinions about. Like, maybe there's something that we're not talking about that you want to know.
Exactly.
Like what our opinion is.
Yeah.
But,
see, we got Arnie Garza. Arnie Garza's finally showing up here. Finally. Welcome, Arnie Garza. Arnie.
Start firing up those questions.
The number's on the screen, my friend. If you want to call in and be that guy on the phone, let everybody know who the best chatter is, and not just on this channel. If you guys follow Arnie Garza on other people's channels, and some of the big ones like Wasted Talent and things like that, dude brings it. He brings it in the chat. So salute to you, brother.
I do want to hit on this real quick, though. Niner fans will outnumber Raider fans on Thursday, most likely. I like how he's not certain. He says most likely, so he's not even sure of himself. Mm-hmm. But then also, you got to realize that we got Fernando Mendoza, who's going to be playing at least a half of that game. Like, Raider fans are going to show up. At least it's going to be 50-50.
Nah. It's still
especially
because
you got so many game-hungry Raider fans. Like, they're going to go to every California game they can.
Yeah.
But Arnie Garza hitting us. Who is the most impactful player on our offense and on defense?
Well,
Brock Bowers for offense. Defense is going to be probably Crosby, but I could also see Quay Walker.
Defense, Quay Walker?
Yeah. Or Crosby.
Yeah. Well, if Nakobe Dean stays healthy, I think he's going to be the dude on defense. I'm going to tell you, it's a toss-up between those two. If they both stay healthy, it's going to be a toss-up between those two, who the most impactful is.
Yeah.
I think so. I think they're going to steal some... Go ahead.
It's also kind of exciting that we have somebody that we can place next to Crosby's name on our depth chart now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not Crosby and can the rest of the team match his energy? Or it's not, well, Crosby brings the energy, but do we have anybody else that can bring energy? Well, now we got Quay Walker, who I think we can put him up there with him.
Yeah, he's got it. He's not as rah-rah, I guess, as you can say, or some people say that, but from like you go back and watch his tape at Green Bay, oh my God, he was everywhere. So hey, you guys out there, hey, Justice 412 has a good question here. What do y'all think of seeing Sloan? What do you all think of seeing Sloan? Go ahead.
My opinion is he is a guy that is going to be a high motor guy. He's going to have to rely on that heavily if he sticks around on the roster. He doesn't really have any empowering traits other than always playing the game properly. Like, I don't see him doing like any like real mistakes. It's just he's not beating his guys. But because he's always fighting and always playing the proper way, he's going to make plays naturally. Like, there's been a couple cutbacks this preseason where he's been right there to make the tackle because he keeps fighting and chasing the play. How many pros do you see actually chase the plays and then make the play? There's a lot of players where they don't chase the play, and then there's a cutback right there because they're not filling them properly.
Yeah.
So Cian Sloan, unfortunately, is a guy where he's going to have to play perfectly, and it still might not be enough.
Yeah.
I hope he makes the roster. I hope he doesn't get put down to the practice squad because we might lose him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think him and Patrick Johnson both.
But I could see Cian Sloan taking a year 3 jump, maybe year 2, but he's overall good, but like not NFL good. He's just like slightly missing something.
So let me ask you this: do you think maybe, just maybe, he needs that NFL body, in which a certain number 98 was in the same situation when he came out of Eastern Michigan? It was just a matter of some LBs, a few LBs, learning the work ethic of a professional football player, and some curls and some snapbacks with old Deuce Gruden and some protein shakes in the cafeteria, and just let that man body come to.
I think that's very possible, which would play into him really making a jump in year 2 or 3. He does need to get some size, but he also needs to be able to keep his speed. One thing I keep forgetting to look at. Do you happen to know his wingspan?
That I don't know, but
Because it seems like he plays very similar to Crosby, but like he doesn't quite have that reach to keep the bodies off of him, which may also be a hindrance for him.
Yeah, I think he relies a lot on his quickness to beat the block.
Yeah,
and he's got to get, because like Max can still be blocked or covered in between the shoulder pads, but with his wingspan still be able to maybe like reach in and get a sack, or reach in and stop the run because of his wingspan and his strength. And yeah, I don't see that per se with Cian Sloan. Of course, he's not as tall, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Max is about 6'5", 6'6", correct?
Yeah, I believe he's
somewhere in
6'5".
there. Yeah. But he's got a wingspan of like a 7-foot person. He's got he get the name Condor for a reason, and that's why.
Yep.
The nickname. His wingspan is unusual for his guy his size, and his build in and of itself. But you go back and look at his first rodeo with the Raiders when he first got drafted. That was one of the things in that preseason they kept talking about, that he's just so light. He's so light. Well, he took care of that, and he made it a point of emphasis of not just putting on the weight, but putting on the weight the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they say his wingspan is 6 feet 6 and a quarter. That's coming in from Justice for 12.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Bubble position on each position group. We covered that last night on the Raider Nation Voices, but I'm going to give you a chance to kind of blow through it if you want.
Bubble position, so offensive line, I'm going to say Antonio Mafi. Maybe Meredith. I feel like they would keep Meredith over Mafi because Meredith has positional versatility, just like Zoom. Which may also be a reason why they're not having Zoom push for that right tackle spot, because they want to keep him for the versatility. Tight ends, I don't really think there's too much of a bubble. Like, I think it's going to be clear cut. They keep the 4 tight ends. It's 3 true tight ends and then our fullback. Running back with the Genty injury makes it interesting, because I think we end up keeping. Well, it all depends on the news that comes out. Like, if Genty is going to be hurt for a little bit of time, I think we end up keeping Washington, Kemby, Ogumbawale, and Lobby. If Genty is pretty much going to be fully healthy by week 1, we can either go to 3 running backs or 4. And I think Kemby gets pushed to the practice squad, and we keep Ogumbawale.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing there, too.
Receiver, I know everybody wants to say Thornton, but I have this suspicion that they're going to keep Thornton on the injured list, so that way they can keep him another year.
Yeah.
Let him train a little bit more, try to figure out his body in the NFL a little bit more, and then next year would be his true, okay, are you going to step up or are we going to cut you kind of thing.
Right.
So that being said, with Thornton, with him being placed on injury, I think receiver, the special teamer that we brought from the Seahawks, I have a feeling he might end up getting cut, because Bennett's been playing well in practice. I know he had the 2 big drops in the preseason game, but he can return really well too.
There's
So,
another guy, while you're still on the returners,
yeah.
there's another guy that don't be surprised him back there returning punts. That's Jermont McCoy.
Yeah. that is
I
know
the only
he's
reason
been
why I say that
practicing
is,
it.
yeah, that, and he's super electric at it. He's one of those guys that if he can get past the first wave, he is gone.
Yeah. But since you brought up McCoy, for DBs, I think Greedy Vance is probably the bubble guy. I think we keep our 4/5 safeties. I say /5 because I'm considering our slot corner, our nickel corner, as a safety because they're going to play this kind of hybrid style defense where the nickels are going to be playing safety a decent amount and rotating depending on what the offense is doing, whether there's motion or not. D line, that one is a bit tough because I see a lot of people are leaving out JJ Pegues. I don't see us cutting him. I think more than likely it might be Booker that might be the bubble guy, but he started playing well in the preseason game a little bit, but he's not doing that great in the run game. Linebackers, possible bubble is half of the Bergs. I think Lindenberg is safe.
I think Lindenberg's safe. Yeah.
Eichenberg might be a bubble guy.
Yeah.
It seems like when I watch Eichenberg play, it's like I always see him at the play and he never makes the play kind of thing.
Doesn't finish. Yeah, he's not a finish.
Well,
not a
like,
finisher.
no, it's not like he's always like a half a step short from like making the play. So he's not, it's not that like a finishing thing. It's not like he's making the hit and like not wrapping up or something. It's like he's just not there to actually stop the play. He's always in the space around it, never in position to actually stop it.
Yeah. So, Alex, Kevin Thornton cut. Do you all agree? So here's my take, and Duncan just kind of gave me a second viewpoint from this. I was absolutely he's going to get cut, absolutely, and I felt that way back during OTAs. That I felt he is just not. It is just not happening with him on the field, right? But to save that, Duncan brings up a good point. It probably wouldn't hurt to put him on long-term IR, not short-term, not a bring back, but just long-term IR, depending on what his injury is. From what I understand, it's hamstring or it's a lower leg issue. I know that, but I don't know specifically what the injury is. But even then, I would keep him on a long term, not a short term, because I think we only get so many short terms. We can only use so many short term IRs, correct?
Yeah, doesn't that have to come off the PUP list though?
On the PUP list?
Yeah, it's been a while since I looked at the stuff, but basically the short-term stuff is you're designating them. You have to designate them for return, and then they have like I think 4 weeks to be put back on the roster, and you make room for them. I mean, you can always label some.
You don't designate them at the beginning when they go on IR as being long term or short term.
So I think it has to do with the PUP list, right?
Okay, so that would apply to the PUP list then.
I believe so.
Okay. Which kind of makes sense.
I gotta look into that again. Looked at it last year because we had some injury stuff going on last year, so it made me really curious. I haven't been really too concerned with it this year because really it was like Thornton's the only guy, and then JPJ was banged up, but it seemed like he was going to be back before the season, which he is. So I wasn't really even paying attention to that stuff, but
did JPJ practice today?
Yeah, and him and Rogers split first string snaps.
Okay. All right. I thought I saw something about that, but yeah, cool. Let's see here. No, we need a player like Thornton with that speed and size. He can be a poor man version of DK Metcalf with Kubiak as a coach. I don't disagree with that, except for I don't think they've seen it. I don't think they're satisfied with his progression with this coaching staff. And you got to understand something. He's a 4th-round pick that is not their pick. It's not this coaching staff's pick. So they're not tied to him in a roundabout way. And if what his faults were last year are the same this year, like alligator arms, not completing the catch, not securing the ball properly, not getting separation when you have 4.2, 4.2 speed, which if you have 4.2 speed, you should be able to get some separation on most of your short to intermediate routes anyways. So, and that was one of the knocks on him coming out. They felt he was more of a one-trick pony.
Here's the thing with Thornton too is when it comes to him specifically, you kind of have to ignore his size. Mm-hmm. He is a tall frame, but he's a small frame. Mm-hmm. You got to think of him like a small player with just long arms, because he can't jump. So he's pretty much going to be outfought for any jump ball because he does not have hops, and he doesn't have the frame to fight for those comeback routes and other contested catches. He's going to be pushed out of the way by a lot of DBs in the game. So Thornton is really fighting a uphill battle with the way he is. Mm-hmm. He needs to find a way to be able to put on weight. And with the way he plays, he doesn't have any natural agility either. So his cuts aren't that great. So he's not going to be beating people with his routes. So he needs to figure out a way where he can put on a little bit of weight and start fighting for the football.
Yeah.
And start doing some box jumps because he really needs to learn how to
get
jump.
Stronger. Yeah. Get stronger jumps out of it. Yeah. So, just check the private chat real quick. Arnie Garza coming in here. Possible wins: Miami, Cards, Titans, Browns. All else losses to get to Smith, wide receiver. Okay, so I like the take, Arnie. I like it, but this year is not. We're not tanking, right? If by week 6 or week 7 we see the same old thing, then maybe we'll challenge that. But in the meantime, we got a phone call coming in. Hey, thanks for calling to Show Me the Shield. This is Raiders First Down with your co-host, Donuts Duncan. Who are we speaking with?
Arnie, man. Gonna see if I can get on the show.
Right on. What's going on, brother?
Nothing. It's a little frustrated, man. It's frustrating to be Genty going down. I don't know, with a rush defense. It just seems like every year this is the same thing. Like, we play a certain way in the preseason. We play a certain way in practice. A lot of these insiders aren't telling us the truth. Mm-hmm. And we end up the season exactly what we looked like in practice.
Yeah.
Can't stop the run. Can't cover tight ends or running backs.
Yeah.
And it's going to be our plague all season. I mean, and without a good running game and I would say just an adequate offensive line. I mean, the only real change is the center, and if Miller can stay healthy, mm-hmm. I don't think there was really much changes other than that. I mean, I know it's going to be a growing year. I know we're on a real rebuild, and I understand that totally. Mm-hmm. But I just see us 4 possible wins, possible teams that we can win, and that's if everybody stays healthy. Yeah. And then after that, I don't know, man. Try to feed me some positivity.
Yeah. Well, stick around because we're going to answer your questions real quick. Duncan, you want to chime in real quick with Johnny here? Calling from the 209.
I mean, I think 4 wins is definitely reasonable, but I do think we could end up getting 3 more. There's a few teams that are good, but I think take a step back or they're in that growing process themselves. Like the Saints, for example, I think are a good team, but they're in that growing process right now. So they're going to end up losing some games that they shouldn't. Mm-hmm. Hopefully one of them's against us. That one's winnable. The other one, I think the Bills do take a big step back this year because I think their head coach had a lot to do with their success on the defensive side. And they go and fire him and then keep the offense the same old same. They're going to rely heavily on that offense to win every game for him.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when that happens, it ends up making the offense one-dimensional in close games.
Yeah.
And sometimes you get those games where the underdog team takes them just because they stay in it, which possibly could be us.
Yeah.
Our defense is going to do a lot of growing this year. Obviously, outside of the ones we have looked terrible against the run. The ones I thought looked really well, or really good in that first preseason game, other than the missed outside contained by Chin. But also we're running
also
a
the
cover
penalty.
zero. Yeah, penalties too, yes. That is another thing, though, is the penalties have been absolutely atrocious this preseason.
Yeah, not good.
Which really surprises me in like the way everyone's been talking about the Clint Kubiak practices. I really thought we'd be looking at a far less penalized Raider team. But maybe they just got to work them out in the preseason. We can be hopeful on that.
Yeah.
I just see a lot of growing pains. It's going to be growing pains. I mean, not anything really. I just want to see some kind of progression, some kind of development with our young, play our young people. Like last year was kind of, once we had the record we had, we should have been playing our young people right away. We should be developing on the way up. I mean, and that's what Kubiak's got to do this year. You cannot get veterans and put them in there and think you're going to develop your young guys.
You're absolutely 100% right that the previous regime sold this current regime short with the development of those draft picks from last year. So it's almost like we got to start all over with them. Again, earlier when you were talking about the run game in and of itself, give me your take as to what you saw in the run game Thursday night against the Houston Texans.
I saw a tale of two halves. The second half, it seemed like they blocked better. They blocked better for AOC. They blocked better for everybody. And it seemed like our second string didn't know how to block. They just forgot how to block. I saw Mendoza getting killed out there. I saw the running game wasn't that great, except for Washington. Washington is an excellent back. Got good cut. He sees the field good. He has a good cut ability. It's just in the second half, I just seen a whole different offensive line. It seemed like our third string offensive line was playing better than our second string.
Yep.
I don't know if I'm seeing the wrong thing, but that's how I looked at it.
No. You're absolutely seeing the same exact thing that I'm seeing. But there was still some success. There were successful runs in the first half. They just weren't.
Yeah.
They weren't producing what we wanted. Yeah. So if you look at the score, right? We went into halftime at down 20-3, right?
Yep.
The first drive, they get the ball, they go down the field and score a touchdown, and they basically just ran it down our defense's throat. It was the exact same blueprint that we saw the week before, and it's what we saw last year as well. We send the defense out onto the field to start the game is because we want to set the tone, we want to set the tempo, we want to set the attitude.
Yes.
None of that was there. I mean, it was literally they were playing catch with they were playing catch with the other team, not getting off the blocks, and really poor tackling. And Woody Marks is a very good running back, and he's
I like Woody Marks.
Yeah, he's going to do that against some of the better defenses in the NFL anyway. So you just got to take that. And they had their starting offensive line. I mean, Trent Brown was out there. The other guy that's pretty much a perennial all-pro, one of their guards, was out there. So take that with a grain of salt, going up against our twos. I get it. But it's all about the attitude, the tenacity, and the will and the want to make the stop. And they were close to doing it, but close is only good in horseshoes and hand grenades. And so in the meantime, the Texans went down, took 5 minutes off the clock, scored a touchdown. We turn around, got a good drive going, make a mistake, another pick six. Now we're down 14-0.
Yep.
The good thing about it is the run game was still sufficient, and we stayed with it, right? And granted, it's a preseason game, right? But that's something you also want to see in the regular season. Just because you're down 14-0 doesn't mean you have to drop back 50 times to try and catch up. It's still so early in the game. Use that run game established. Now, I didn't look at the stats when I watched the game, or even after. I looked at the stats yesterday morning. I went back and I looked. We outrushed them 2-1.
Yep.
And we held them
because of the second half.
Right.
Because of the second half.
Right. And But you also have to include in that as well is our defensive line stood up and stopped their run. Now, granted, it wasn't Woody Marks; it was their second team, but it was 2s-on-2s. But overall, the picture I'm trying to paint to you,
3s-on-3s and 4s-on-4s, right?
yeah. Overall, the picture that I'm trying to paint with you, though, is you can see that the coaching was there. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So the coaching is there. Now it's just a matter of our ones have to keep progressing. And like Duncan was saying earlier, with and you had mentioned it as well, is other than Linderbaum, and now we got a healthy Miller, and did we really change anything? Well, yeah, we did change the coach, and everybody. Yeah,
we did change the coach,
and we upgrade. I mean, we went from driving a Prius to a Corvette with that coaching change. That's a big jump from what Brendan Carroll provided us to what Rick Dennison will provide us. Huge. It'll make that much of a difference. Whether or not we get the talent, that's another story.
I just have a real question mark on Glaze. I have a real question mark.
Yeah, we all do.
On him because he's getting burned in practice every day by Max, all right? And I want to see some type of improvement. But you hear all the insiders. He gets burned, but they don't say much. And he's getting burned every practice. So what is he going to do with the top pass rushers in our division? Just alone in our division.
Yeah.
And you're looking at the Rams, you're looking at the Niners coming at us, everybody. What is he going to do then?
Yeah.
As far as Glaze goes, I think you may need to take a step back a little bit and look at his rookie season and how they used him there. He had a lot of tight end help. As far as
would you tight end help him pretty much the whole game?
Well, no, it's gonna be team dependent on like what defense you're going against. As far as play strength goes, Glaze is not getting outpowered by anybody in the league. I don't see that plays edge. His issue is his stone feet and going against speed rushers. He's got a smart head on his shoulders, so he doesn't get fooled too often on defensive stunts. But last year when the stunts were happening, there's zero communication. So it looked like him and the guard were both absolutely terrible, which is true. That's the play they put on the field, but they had zero coaching. This year, I think he's going to be able to play a little bit more loosely and a little bit less thinking, so that's going to help him a lot. So he's going to keep up a little bit more with like your standard speed rushers. But as far as like the top end speed rushers, like how the Broncos have, for example, he's going to struggle. Yeah. And against teams like that, that's when you start game planning to run a lot more 12 personnel, 22 personnel, 13.
Do you see Glaze more as a guard? Do you see him more as a guard than a right guard? I mean, a right tackle.
The problem is that they're not putting him over there. So I would have liked it if they put him over there right off the get go to have him basically practice to play that position. He spent this whole time playing right tackle, and nobody even gave it a shot right off the get go. So I don't see a fair point in doing that. He's a right tackle. He's got to be judged as a right tackle, and his issue is his feet.
I really see Grant would better at. He's more athletic than he is. I think Grant would have been a better right tackle than him.
Yeah, I think
agree. Grant has the longer arms and everything.
I do agree, but then you're also taking away your backup left tackle. Like they've been the whole time we've had Grant, they've been doing nothing but having him practice left tackle to replace Miller. Grant is definitely the replacement guy for Miller. And he's there, looks pretty damn good at that left tackle spot this offseason or this preseason.
This preseason question for both of you too on go ahead. You can finish.
And then the other thing is Zune. Zune's been practicing a lot of right tackle, but I really think they're hesitant in putting him at right tackle because they want his versatility. They want to be able to plug him and play him wherever they need, just in case injury does arise.
How'd you like Dalton at right tackle during the preseason?
No,
I seen him in the second half at right tackle.
Yeah, but if you went back to the previous week, he gave up a bona fide sack. It was not good. It was a lookout block, textbook lookout block was basically what it was. I mean, he did get hands on him about the mid-level of the block. But
And then at the second unit, where do you see? You think Meredith is a center, a backup center,
better
or
at
do you
guard.
think he's just giving up too much pressure?
The way I see it is Meredith isn't the backup center. He's a backup lineman. He's a piece like Zune where he has
That's where I see it.
versatility.
That's where I see it.
Yeah. I mean, I would prefer him to be a left guard, but if he only plays left guard, he's getting cut because he doesn't have that versatility. That's also why I think Mafi ends up getting cut over Meredith if we do go as thin on the O-line as I think we're going to go, is because Meredith can play both left guard and center.
Yeah.
Zune can play both tackle positions, both guard positions, and center. So those are the two main guys that they're going to want to keep because of that versatility. And then obviously with Rogers, he's competing evenly with JPJ. So if JPJ goes down, Rogers is in.
How big is your concern level with our wide receivers? Now seeing the preseason and seeing what our first team, our second team's doing with the drop passes, with the penalties, where do you see it at?
Go ahead,
Is it
Duncan.
concerned? Is it like, semi? Is Bowers going to make up for it by being our number one receiver, moving them all over the field? Are we going to use more running backs?
I'm semi-concerned with it, but at the same time, it's like we had so many holes to fill that we weren't going to be able to fill anything. So it's like it's kind of an accepted concern, if that makes sense. It's like we were going to have to accept our fate in certain positions because we had so many holes we weren't going to be able to fill them all through the draft and free agency. Like it's just
we had
not possible.
15 stab wounds and 6 Band-Aids,
Yeah.
basically.
That's true.
So,
But-
Where do
the
you
biggest
see,
wounds.
you think, who's going to make a bigger factor? Do you think it's more Tucker, Naylor, or Jack Bash?
I'm going to go.
Probably Dash because of the run game, the run support.
Okay.
And the
So
third
he'll
down
stay in there
percentage.
more often.
His third down, you're going to see a lot of him being in that third down specialist kind of style where he gets us first downs. He just helps us keep moving the chains.
Yeah.
Like,
he's better-
He's
Hunter
not going to be a
Renfrow.
game. Yeah, he's not going to be a game breaker per se, but he's going to be that guy that is reliable. That I got a double team that's coming down. All of a sudden, I got a rotation to a double team on Bowers on a 3rd and 7, and I know his in cut is going to be. If I can just get it, he's going to get it there. He's going to catch it. We're going to get a first down.
Do you see us running more of a 12 or an 11-man offense most of the season? Like, how they always say that we're going to run it, and then we barely run it. Is it going to be more Mayer with Brock on the field?
Well, if you look back at Kubiak's history, what he says is what he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
Well, and I hope he
comparing it to
sticks to
Seattle,
it.
comparing it to Seattle, like we're going to end up running a lot of 22 and 13 personnel.
Okay.
So, like, there's a reason why we brought on a fullback that can play tight end, and it's we're going to have a lot of versatile formations. We're going to see a lot more motions than we did last season, the last few seasons. So they're gonna mix it up, but by mixing it up, they're also going to be playing a lot of base plays out of it. It's just trying to keep the defense guessing on which play it is that they're running.
Yeah.
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 Points
So
on everything.
yeah. So what Kubiak? I mean, obviously he's not going to tell you exactly, but what?
No, he's not going to tell you.
Yeah, he's not going to tell
He's
you
stone
everything.
cold.
But he's
Stone cold.
yeah, yeah. But he's not going to do like the previous regime that said, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this and we're going to do this and we're going to do this," and you go watch the game and it's like, yeah, why are we running 5 wideouts 6 times in a row, and none of them can catch a ball? Why?
It just reminds me so much of Greg Popovich when he does pressers.
Yeah.
Doesn't give you much and he's just straight to the point.
Yeah,
Short answers, man.
Yeah, we're on to
Not
Miami.
giving you much.
Yeah, we're on to Miami.
Yep. And that's it. I'm not really going to elaborate on nothing. Let's just move on.
Yeah, but when he
I'm
does give
real-
you when he does give you nuggets, when he does say something, it has a meaning and it's effective, and that's what I appreciate about him. He doesn't cut, just like you said. He's not the type of guy that's gonna hit you in the back while you're walking away. He'll hit you in the face while you're standing facing him. So
Are you guys worried since we don't really do much tackling in practice in the preseason, the only time you really get it in the preseason games,
Mm-hmm.
is that going to affect our tackling when, come Miami time?
A little bit, but the whole NFL has to go through that too.
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah.
a Raiders problem; it's an NFL
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, the entire NFL
Yeah.
week 1 is going to be the product that's on the field week 1 is not the same product that's in week 3 and week 4 and week 5 at the NFL. It's just not.
It just seemed to me since like 2002. I mean, even then we had a problem. We have always had problems with missed tackles, and we've always had problem with penalties.
Mhm.
Always. I don't care what regime you brought. We've always had it. It seems like a curse. I don't know what it is. And then when I come around, I was like, Kubiak's got discipline. It's not going to happen. And then you see 5 penalties on special teams,
Yeah.
which is kind of unheard of. Isn't that? And I know he said it's unacceptable.
Yeah,
But I mean,
yeah. But there's also one thing that he's got to realize too, as the head coach of the Raiders, you're going to get officiated a little different. That's just a given fact.
Well,
The proof is in the pudding,
Yeah.
and there's copious amounts of evidence out there to support. That's not a conspiracy theory by any means. That's actually previous coaches and players that have been on the sideline and have actually heard referees tell the coaches, "You're the Raiders. What do you expect?"
well,
And
I
that
mean,
in and of itself just tells me.
as much as I agree with that, Jason, the penalties this preseason, the vast majority of them are actual penalties. Like they
Yeah.
actually have been atrocious.
Yeah. The only one that out of all the penalties was that one pass interference was
In the first week,
in the first week, and I know why the referee threw it because
the
he was on the
Taron Johnson-
backside.
Taron
Yeah,
Johnson?
yeah, that one. I know why he threw it because it looked like he was giving him the business and pushing him back. But if you look when you watch it in replay, it's like that's not pass interference.
just
but-
a bad angle.
Yeah, it's a bad angle on the referee,
But
and I think he
judgment call, it's a judgment call.
Right. I think he guessed a little bit more. The referee guessed a little bit more and just went with the, he's already made the decision when he guessed and just threw the flag and, but here's kind of the good thing. And I don't think you guys have touched on it since we are talking about the penalties is even the Jermon McCoy, we'll take the Jermon McCoy penalty, for example, where a lot of people, even the national press and things like that are saying that was a ticky-tack foul. I don't disagree that it's a ticky-tack foul, but here's the thing.
No.
If you're going to make the thumb down sign, move away from the player that's on the ground so it doesn't look
Yes.
like you're doing
Yes.
it, intimidating him. And here's another thing, the point of emphasis on the unsportsmanlike conduct is they are actually going to concentrate a lot of celebration and taunting towards the opposing team's bench. So he was on the opposing team's bench when he made the gesture, standing over the top. That's why they threw the flag.
No.
Now, if he steps out on the field, just know where you're at. Dude, I want him to celebrate like that. He deserves it. He does that. If anybody that deserves to make the thumbs down after making a play like that, he deserves it because that just.
Did you see progression from him from the first game to the second one?
Oh yeah,
leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
leaps and bounds, and even his failures in the first game were you knew that those were just coaching. It's just minor technique stuff. It wasn't. He didn't get overpowered. He didn't get outrun. He didn't get out physical. It was just technique.
It was a lack of playing for so long. And then I think that was the biggest thing is like he got the feel for the game a little bit that first preseason game, where the second preseason game he came on and he looked a lot more like his old self.
Do you guys both feel on the first 2 games, the percentages these quarterbacks are getting on us, like really no incompletions? Is it the pressure we're getting on the quarterback or is it our coverage?
Both.
Both.
Both?
Both.
So a lack of pressure and a lack of coverage?
Yeah.
Or too much cushion? Or are we running too much zone?
Yeah.
So
'Cause
they
soft
go
zone.
hand in hand. They go hand in hand because your coverage is going to allow your defenders to get sacks, and your pressures are going to allow the coverage to not cover as long. So it goes hand in hand. We're getting a lot of quick passes off against us, but we're also getting a lot of longer passes too. So it's like there's hand in hand. Both sides aren't doing their job.
Yeah, deep dig routes we're getting, but I did.
Yeah, we are getting.
I did notice in the Texans game though, the coverage was a little bit better. Which in turn, even with C.J. Stroud, caused a couple of incompletions.
Yep.
So that
worse.
That first drive in and of itself, one, he escaped the pocket, was able to draw up the defender, and the tight end leaked out behind, and nobody got to him soon enough, and he was able to dump it off to him to move the chains there. And then the running game in itself, hitting 4, 5, 7, 10-yard runs at any given time, coupled with, I think there was an out route too that they were able to get where the cornerback was playing a little bit too off and lost leverage at the stem. But those are teachable, especially when you're talking about guys that are second year and rookies. Okay, when that happens, you want to see it in the preseason and see the progression. And one of the things that's coming out of training camp specifically today was Stoops was running exclusively with the ones.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I also had a question on the pass rush. Because it seemed like the second string to me, like Kuntz, he just doesn't seem like him and Pay. I know it's just preseason, but it seems like the second unit, the third unit's looking better than the second unit.
No.
I really like that Patrick Johnson. I think he's better. And I like 48 too. He's getting sacks. He's a lot quicker off the run. He's got a chop mood. And I just don't see pressure. I saw even Booker even doing better than our defensive tackles.
No.
Do you guys see a progression by the third string, or is it just a competition?
It's a little bit of both. Obviously you got to play against the players you're going against, but also got to realize too that our defense isn't going to do a lot of standard rushes. We're probably going to be a very blitz heavy, where we're mixing up our coverages and doing a lot of zone blitzing. We brought in Pay, who's not really a sack guy. He's a run stuffer.
No.
Okay, he's going to play opposite of Max, where they're going to be able to contain that run on the outside, as long as they play discipline. But we brought in 2 linebackers from free agency that actually pass rush really well.
Oh, yeah.
So there's going to be a lot of stunting and zone blitzing being called, and they're going to try to force those sacks to come through different
Dean and Walker.
Yeah.
Even if we run exclusively at 3-4 scheme, we're going to have 4 and 5 man pressures coming. You're going to see a lot of different, because you can manufacture a pass rush, especially if you get the right people to do it. And I, in a roundabout way, agree with what we're talking about here. Is sometimes you wanted to see just your standard 4-man rush if you can get a standard 4-man rush to get to the quarterback and dirty that pocket up, play in and play out, that's a bonus, because even if you don't get home every time, just the mere fact of dirtying that pocket up creates bad passes, off target throws that turn to interceptions on the back end. So that's the cohesiveness of both the front 7 and the backside.
Another thing to look at though is, like, we acknowledge that they looked pretty bad against the run, right? So if you start selling out to try to stop the run, you're going to take away your penetration. Whereas it could have been they were trying to penetrate the offensive line a lot more and be aggressive against the pass, and in return they were getting gapped up in the run game.
Yeah.
So
and they had a mobile quarterback too.
Yeah, so it's all about trying to figure out how you need to play it. And then the more you end up losing in the run game, the more you're going to take away from your pass rush, because you're trying to stop that run. And as long as the opponent has a successful run game, you're in a losing battle on the defense, because you're not staying ahead of the chains.
Yeah.
Another Achilles heel that we always had is tight ends and running backs off the end there.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the coverage of Walker and Dean to help us with that, or do we have to bring another safety in to help out with that?
Walker,
that usually kills us.
In certain situations, Walker is going to be sufficient. In certain situations, but if they go to a spread, like if they spread out the tight end, then it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Then we're going to have to rely on a safety and or nickelback that has the ability to stop that tight end.
Well, also, how often do you actually see our defensive ends jam the tight ends off the line?
That's another thing.
They don't do that.
I hear that all the time.
They don't do that. They don't do that. They usually have free release. Yeah,
nobody.
Kelsey killed us for years. Kelsey's been killing us with that.
Yeah, That's not just a Raider problem, though. There have been other teams that failed to do the same thing with him specifically, and I've listened to certain radio broadcasters that were content creators before the invention of YouTube, that they would say the same thing as to why doesn't anybody hit him at the line of scrimmage, redirect him? No, nobody does it. We don't do it. How does he? That's how he's getting open. If he can get to the second and third level without getting any contact at the front end, and any success we've ever had against Kelsey, though it's very minimal, has been the times it has been the times where Max is actually, instead of trying to get upfield on the tackle, is actually redirected to the tight end to hit him first and then try and get upfield. Well, that takes away his ability to get to the quarterback too, because now he's having to hit that tight end to slow him down. So it's a give and take. It's just a matter of finding that one person. And I'll be quite honest with you, when we say Travis Kelce, I think the only thing that's going to stop Travis Kelce is father time. That's it.
Which is coming already. It's
coming already. You can see it last year, that father time. And when he's got to think about coming back for another year, that just tells you that the clock is ticking, and we'll see what that does. And that's, to be quite honest with you, that's been their most lethal weapon for the last 7 years is him.
I see another thing too with this is a positive, straight positive. I had to throw a positive this way before I go. But my positive is last year we didn't have Brock for most of the year,
right?
And I think that was a big factor of our offense. Big factor. And if we get him this year with Kubiak and the way he's running his offense, I like how he spreads everything around. I like his motions. I like everything he does, because he does so many different formations and doesn't do the same formation over and over again either. And he runs out of those formations as well as pass. So, that's something we didn't have last year.
And utilizing Mayer properly, too, because he's capable of catching and getting us yards and touchdowns as well. So,
Yes. So I see a top 15 offense. It's just I just don't know. The big question mark is the defense.
Yeah. But I'll ask you this, because I'm not putting. I'm tired of the win. What do you have at a win total? I'm tired of what do you have at a loss total?
Yes.
I myself set 6 wins as an expectation, not a prediction.
Yes.
Okay, that's an expectation.
Yes. Totally believe that.
Yeah.
Totally believe that.
But if using your guidelines that you're just providing right now with the top 15 and the top 25 defense, or top 20 defense, top 15 offense, would you say that's head and shoulders above what we've had the last 2 years?
Oh, definitely.
So
I just want development. So even if we get 5 wins, but we develop our players and we become at the end of the season, maybe a win streak at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So
that's a progression for us.
Let's just hope, and I have a firm belief. I'll let Duncan take over when I'm done with this. Is let's just watch some Raider football for once, where we're not turning the TV off in the third quarter.
Oh shoot! I would love that. I would love that.
Yeah.
I want to see some good football too. Where
I like this Arnie Garza guy. What have I been saying all off season, Jason? Let's try to get those wins stacked up at the end of the season, kind of like the Lions did a few years ago.
Yes.
Through the season, you're seeing the growing pains, right? Middle of the season, we're knocking on the door of the wins. We're right there. We're just trying to figure it out. And then by the end of the season, oh, shoot, we won. Now we know how to win. We won another. Yeah. We won another.
And Johnny, before you go, just think of this. Every NFL season is different. And who knows, maybe we'll catch some wounded ducks and put some W's on the board by catching those wounded ducks on other teams. One of them, I think, is our old, our redheaded stepchild over in the Bay Area. If we can catch,
that would be amazing if we can get that one, man.
Yeah, if we can catch them where everybody's got Band-Aids and crutches sitting on the sideline. It's like, you know what, you got to suit up who's on your team, boys. Let's go. Your ones might be.
What's your prediction for this preseason game? You think it's Mendoza till the half and then just go AOC the second half, or how do you think they're running it?
No, I think Mendoza might be just quarter.
Just one quarter and that's it. And just let it run.
And I'm only saying that because if everything goes the way they think it should go in that first quarter, there's no need to play him anymore at that point, because now we're going to go.
And would you play Washington? Would you play Washington, or you?
If Genty's out,
yes,
he automatically goes to the first team, and nobody on the first team is playing.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I would have did too.
Yeah, there's no need.
You know,
there's
might
no
as well
need
see what you got with the other running backs.
Well, it's not just that, because you also have, that's the type of game that they use to, advertise some of these guys that are maybe number 65, 66, 67 on the depth chart, and let them get what they need to get out of it in a total package of a game. So maybe if they can not only come back to us as a practice squad member, but go to another team on a 53-man roster. So it behooves them, it's fair for them. And that's when they're digging at the bottom of the dirt pile to find anything that they can in that game. To maybe
would you get enticed to bring Moster back, or bring like Mixon or some other vet that can help us out with depth?
Go ahead, Duncan.
If Genty's going to be gone.
I am kind of on the fence on it. I don't think we would. I think the coaching staff kind of likes Lobby, and Ogunbowale is a very decent depth piece because he really helps on special teams and he's really good at pass protection. So I think they would end up sticking with what we got.
Yeah.
And then just bring up Hemby.
Yeah.
Just so you have another guy in there.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
that's a huge movement. I mean, that's the way to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I would. I mean, I'll be quite honest with you, because we had the first right in the
the
waiver wire.
In the waiver wire. So we have first right at that point. I would be more inclined for us to use our first rights on a wide receiver off the scrap heap than a running back. Because I think we can suffice with what we have. It just depends. But you're still going to have to be. It's one of those deals where, okay, we can get this wide receiver, or we can get this running back. Which one of the two is going to benefit us most?
I think they go D lineman.
Do you think so?
Well, I mean, obviously it depends on like who all is cut, but
right.
I think their first priority is D line.
It just depends who gets cut. I think it really comes down to quality of the player.
Not
He's got to be under 29.
Yeah, you're not wrong with that either, Duncan, because like I said earlier, we got 15 stab wounds and 6 Band-Aids.
Yeah. Another thing to mention, though, is that defensive lineman we picked up during this last
Fadukasi?
He,
yes,
in my opinion, looked like the best D lineman to play in that game. Like his ability to get off,
and
his ability to get off the ball is way better than what we've got.
Yeah.
And that, for me, that's kind of like a big
Tonka. Is Tonka even playing, or did they rest Tonka?
No, Tonka rested.
Yeah,
Tonka
he rested. He got
rested.
Yeah, they kept him out first team. So
okay.
Him and Quiddy Pay and Butler,
Miami.
they all kept him out.
Yeah.
A lot of we saw a lot of Booker, a lot of Lalu, a lot of Fadukasi, and
JJ Pegues.
And Pegues. And Pegues has not disappointed. He has not disappointed.
How about Cleveland? You like Cleveland or no?
I think he's out, man.
Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's out. He's too slow off the ball. That was his Achilles heel when he got drafted. He's very strong, very powerful, but just too slow off the ball. I mean, he's getting the snap is already a half a second gone before he's even getting to the point of contact or getting to the gap. It's just And when your nose guard, when you're built like that, his build is perfect for a nose tackle. 6'2", 6'3", 330 pounds is perfect. That's what you want in a build.
Yeah.
But to beat that elite nose tackle, a guy that's going to command or take over the A gap on both sides of that center's head, is you got to have a little bit of talent too, and the gumption to do it.
Yeah. You can't have anybody just in there.
No. So, hey, Johnny.
Well, thank you guys very much for
thanks
everything,
for calling,
guys.
man. Thanks for calling.
Great talk, man, and everything.
Appreciate it,
And,
brother. We'll talk
see
to
you guys
later.
soon, but you guys are great, man. Thank you for it's kind of like Raider therapy today, man. So thank you for lifting me up a little bit, man.
Yeah.
We're going to be open after the Raider games, so make sure you call in.
Every Sunday night at 5 p.m. We got to. That's the beautiful thing about the schedule. Our NFL schedule this year is all of our games are in the morning or at 1 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific time. So there's no change there. So we're just going to hit the airways. Me and Duncan are going to hit the airways at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Sunday with the phone-in show. So if you're mad,
Are you guys going to wait for after the presser or before?
it'll be see if we go at 5, it should be right in line with the end of the pressers because the pressers are usually if the game's over at 4:15, 4:20 by 4:45 the presser's over, and then we can the information is going to be so fresh that it's going to be and doing a call-in show like a radio station would do, like we're doing right now with the two of us, is something I think all you guys out there, instead of hitting those thumbs and those virtual keyboards on your phone, dial the number, call in. Johnny set the example right here for 38 minutes that this guy has been on here doing nothing but giving us the legit.
Bold.
What?
That's what we want, man. Let's support our team, guys. Stop hating and start supporting, man.
Yep.
Because it's gonna take a little while, but like I say, we're hoping for the end and get our wins and start winning some division games at the end, man. That'll help a lot.
Yep.
For our development.
All right, brother. Thank you. We got a phone call to make. We're going to make a phone call. Thanks, brother. We're going to make a phone call to a guy that called in earlier, but I missed his call. I tried to answer it, but I missed it.
Jeff.
So we're going to call him, and he's. I talk to him regularly, and he's a really nice guy, and he loves the Raiders, and. So let's give him a call and see if he answers.
Hello?
Hi, we're looking for Harvey Wright Jr. Is this him?
Yes, it is him, Jason. You know that it's the number one rated stunner. What?
Hey, man, I am sorry. I tried to get to your call and you hung up before I could click the button, my friend.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Raider Jeff was like the Energizer Bunny, man. He kept going and going and going. I couldn't get in. I said, "What?" I said, "I just hang up."
Well, he's like some of those people. It's hard to get him to shut up every now and then. You know that, right?
Well, no. Well, see, if I was on the line, I do. I say like my favorite rap group, Run DMC. They had a song back in 1985. The song went, "You talk too much and you never shut up."
I remember that song, my friend. I remember it. Hey, man. So we're getting ready to wrap up the show, and I thought, what better way to end the show than to bring on
the number one stunner talking.
Exactly.
No, number one Raider stunner.
The number one Raider stunner. Yes.
No, Raider stunner. Yes,
I said it right.
Oh, you did? Oh, I was just being precise with you. You know, I'm like my friends Outcast. I got a sense of humor out of this world. You know that, Jason. Come on now.
Yeah.
So
Jason didn't say it right.
Donuts
He's not
Duncan,
saying it with the energy.
Yeah, I didn't say it with
exactly. He's not being precise.
Yeah, don't.
So how you doing? I hope I'm saying this name right. Donuts Duncan, right?
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah, I'm doing
well,
good.
I got one question for you. Nice. First of all, nice meeting you. And just to let you know, I have been a Raiders fan since 1988. Sitting on the living room floor, playing the first ever football game that I ever had, that I got on Nintendo, Tecmo Bowl, and listening to the rap group that wore L.A. Raider colors. They was called NWA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been strictly representing with the Raiders ever since.
Yeah.
On every football video game. Yeah. Been through with them through the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So just to let y'all know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
and just to let you know, time to make the donuts.
Yeah. Time to make the Dunkins.
Okay.
Hey, Harvey.
Have them ready
Okay.
for the morning.
We're gonna wrap up this show. We've been on here 2 hours and 20 minutes, but I had to say the
Yeah,
best
but
for
my
last.
question, I want to know this,
Uh-huh.
right quick. My friend called me. He been a Raider fan since 1989, and he woke me up, and he said that Ashton Genty got injured in practice. What happened to him?
Well, what we do know at this point is it's a knee injury. The severity we don't know, and it occurred on a play in which he went to dive for a football and went down, and he was helped off the field, unable to put weight on his leg. That's all we know at this point. So stay tuned. Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., AM 920, we'll probably have more. But I'm pretty sure we'll know even more by noon or midday tomorrow. I don't think they can keep this thing as much as this administration, this regime is good at keeping information on lock and key. This is one they're probably not going to keep under lock and key for very long. They're going to do it as long as they can, but I would venture to say sometime tomorrow we will get the full update, the full scoop, and the full details of what happened, how it, probably not be so much about what happened, but what the severity is and where we're going from here.
Okay, and to close out, I just want to tell you guys, when you get great players and great coaches, then you get a great organization, and you tell them only one thing, y'all. Just win, baby. All right, y'all, take it easy.
All right, Harvey, you have a good night,
All
man.
right,
We'll talk at you later.
All right, take it easy, man.
Yeah, bye.
Keep the great energy.
Yep. Oh, he's always got energy.
Man.
That word just sticks in as I got an injury. No, energy.
Injury
He's got
on the
good
mind.
energy. Yeah. He's a diehard Raider fan and a diehard Florida State Seminole fan. And let me tell you, man, if I had half his passion, I'd be deadly. He loves his Raiders, and it's a good guy. Good guy.
Yeah.
So 2 hours and 20 minutes, Duncan.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Now, hold on a second. If your wife blames me for this, it's not my fault.
It's 100% your fault.
No, not even close. I know you want to say I know when your wife goes, "What happened?" You're like, "It's Jason's fault." Nah, not this time.
She's screaming from downstairs. It is.
Well, you know who hasn't called in on our show?
Her.
Because she was the first one that started helping us do the diagnostics to try and fix this thing, and she was a trooper.
Yeah,
so
but
if she
she's
wants to
also
call
being
in,
a trooper and taking care of the kids right now. And
exactly.
Skylar, my daughter is extremely grumpy when I lock myself upstairs to do this show.
Oh, really? Well, she wants to be around her dad.
Yeah,
she loves her dad.
I told her, like, okay, Skylar, it's time to go up and get on TV. She's like, okay, I go help you now. No, you're staying down here. No, I go help you.
She's got that part down.
Yeah.
But anyways, hey, for all of you guys that have been in the chat, McLovelick, thank you for coming in as well. I see you came in. We're going to give you some love as well. It would be nice to be getting a running back, Connor from Arizona, if cut. I could see him being cut.
Yeah, but he's not the first one to say that, and so I don't see Connor being cut.
I do. When I was watching the game the other day and watching the three backs that they were, I am going to go with you a little bit on this because I think with the injury with Love kind of might change that a little bit as whether or not they cut him. But I can see them cut if they feel Love is ready to go day week 1. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut him. I would not.
But like, also with Connor, like, he's still a good enough running back where teams may have interest where maybe they get a pick or something for him, whether it's a late round or whatever. But also, like, I don't know. I think Connor's like too good of a piece to just let walk. And he's on the last year of his contract. So, like, why not keep him around? Okay. Make sure Love doesn't get overly used his rookie season because he already got banged up. Like, let Connor stick around. And then at the end of the season, you let Connor walk.
Yeah. I mean, I see your logic in it, but also, too, I think what they have already with the other running backs, if they're 110% satisfied with what they're getting with their top 3 running backs in the preseason before Connors comes in, it might be one of those deals where they might, at this point. But you also bring up a good point that, and this would be wise, if somebody was a running back needy team, that they don't call Arizona and offer a 6-round pick for him.
Well, imagine.
You know what I mean? If you're going to cut, why cut him? I'll give you a 6-round pick. You don't have to cut him.
Like, imagine a team that, like, is an actual playoff team right now. Not us, like, with the Genty injury, but, like, another team. Like, imagine they get a hurt running back, and it's like, I don't really trust our depth. Like, but we need a running back to make the playoff push.
Yeah.
They're going to pay for Connor.
Yeah, it's going to cost you some draft capital. It just depends on whether or not, it depends on, I mean, if, and you see this every year when cut date comes, where they have, like, somebody is decent that is so serviceable, and they get to that point where they're going to probably get cut, but at the same time, maybe we could get something for him and not lose out, and to your point, that if you're a running back, if you're a top tier team and you need another running back because, say, your running back 2 went down and all you got is your top guy and maybe your third back, and that's it. I mean, throw a 5th, 6th-round pick. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. I mean, it's going to help you more than it's going to hurt you. But in our situation, we need all the picks we can get next year, to be quite honest with you. So I mean, knock on wood, everything I've seen with Dylan Lobby so far this year in preseason has been good. Whether or not it translates into the regular season against upper echelon talent on the other side of the ball versus 2s and 3s on other teams, that's to be determined. But because we don't have much out of him, he didn't get a chance last year with that regime, and the year before he fumbled away his opportunities.
Yeah.
So if those can be rectified and he show that he could be a complimentary, I'd say a 2B, not a running back RB2, but a 2B with the Genty issue, then why not? I mean, let's see what happens. I mean,
yeah.
And I don't see
on our side, if
there.
Connor's available, I'm all for getting Connor. Like,
yeah,
that's fine.
Me too.
But,
that's why I was thinking that earlier when I mentioned it, and I was like, I just, for some reason, I'm looking at I watched the running back group with Arizona when we played them, and when I watched them yesterday play, it was like, you know what? I can really see them possibly letting Connors go. Because
I don't watch the Cardinals, so, like, I mean, obviously we played them, but, like, other than that, like, I don't watch the Cardinals, so it's like, I'm not really that in touch with them. Like, to me, I see they have, like, 3 really good running backs at the top end. Like, why would you break that up, especially with Love getting hurt?
But I still think Connor's coming off an injury is
he's still
a 500 to 700 yard running back.
Yeah.
When he comes back. I mean, it just depends. I mean, the guy's overcome so much in his life anyways. This is just a blip in the road to what he's already had to overcome.
Yeah. He's still got a few more years left.
Yeah, I think he's got a good 2 or 3. And he's one of those serviceable guys that you can make your RB2 or RB3 on game day. And he's going to go in and get you 3, 5, 7, maybe 7 carries. And everything's going to be positive with him. Yeah. You know what I mean? And he's reliable. And he can block in the pass game. So, other than that, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been awesome. We've had great phone calls tonight. McLove, Alex, I'm going to name you the super chatter, Alex. I think Arnie kicks everybody's butt, so we're going to handcuff him a little bit. I'm going Alex as my super chatter for the night. What say you?
I actually want to give props to Money Chuck. I really enjoyed his phone call.
Okay.
And he had a lot of really great points. I mean, most of our phone calls had a lot of great points. So not to take away.
Don't forget
from
Johnny. Don't forget Johnny's phone call.
He was great. I just feel like Money Chuck kind of set the tone, and then it stayed great after that. So
and
that's
Alex
why
was
I
on
give that
point
shout out
tonight as well.
Yeah,
Alex was
and
on point.
Sorry to the chat, like we didn't get to as much. I mean, I just feel like our phone calls were that good. It kind of made it hard to interrupt a phone call and like, hey, chat.
But those of you guys that are in the chat, just so you know, we're still reading your chats. Sometimes we'll take your chats and just incorporate them into the phone call. Just because they don't pop up on the screen, pay attention to that, because I will give you. And that's the whole idea behind this. If you guys throw stuff out there, we got a guy on the, hey, ask this guy on the phone this, we'll tell it. But do it in all capital letters and maybe put a couple asterisks in there first so we see it right away. It kind of helps us get alerted to it. But in the meantime, yes, Alex, Money Chuck, Izzy, thanks for coming in. McLovick, thanks for coming in. I hope I said that right. Tanner Jack, always. Another guy that came in here, Social D Rocks. Thank you for coming in, brother. Kuntz on the bubble, question mark. I didn't get a chance to answer, but I am going to answer it now. I hope you're still in here with us. Do I think Kuntz is on the bubble? There's an outside possibility that he could be on the bubble. The only bad thing is the finances that are going to be attached to that. But I've seen promise in him in the preseason. Nothing glaring, nothing outstanding, but I do see in certain passing situation and certain passing situations that are known, he is curving that pass rush lane. He is curving it. So that's just a matter of a complimentary guy on the other side, Max Crosby. You curve that left side, it gives the other guy a chance to get a cleaner shot.
Also, to add to it is with how much we're going to be mixing up and trying to generate the pressures with blitzes and stuff, Kuntz can drop back in coverage.
No.
He was originally an outside linebacker.
Yeah. And another guy to keep in mind, I don't think anybody's mentioned this at all either, but Terrion Johnson's pretty good at sneaking in a blitz or two in a game. So just keep your eyes on that. But Nakobe Dean is specifically, if you go back and watch that Chargers-Eagles game last year, oh my God, was he destroying Justin Herbert. He was destroying him.
But with us wrapping it up and getting ready to get out of here, if you guys are still itching for some more Raider football talk, Real Talk Raider Nation's on right now. He is live with Severe Raider and Protect the Shield podcast. They're usually doing a film breakdown. So right now at this time, they might be on the defensive side. They might have gone through the offense already. But go show them some love and watch some film with them.
Also, too, a little housekeeping note as well. If any of you aren't aware of Rodney Allabord on the Allabord, I think it's Rodney Allabord on YouTube. If you guys give him some love, Allabord Raiders on YouTube and Discord. If you go all the way to the beginning of our chat at the beginning of the show, the link to that to our new Discord, the Show Me the Shield Discord, is there. Click on that. Come join us on the Discord channel. Some really good conversation, football Raider conversation in there. That's how I met this guy here. Was on that Discord channel, and Dark Side, Chris R, some of the guys that have been on the show with us, coming from that Discord channel as well. Go.
Yeah. Also, if you want to jump over to my channel, I do have the Discord in my information bar, so you can copy that and paste it, and should be able to join the Discord through that. Make it nice and easy.
Yeah. And once again, hit those thumbs. The more likes we get, and coinciding with the amount of views that we get, pumps up our algorithms. We get more content out there. We branch out. And then not only is it for us, but it's for you guys as well, because now more people are going to see Alex. More people are going to see Rorschach. More people are going to see Bueno. Okay?
Money Chuck.
That's the idea. Money Chuck. All you guys that have been here with us since the beginning of this year when we started this show, and that are still here coming in repping like that, the bigger we get the channel, the bigger you're going to be as well in the Raider Nation. So get that out there. Share the show with everybody else. If you know somebody, give them our link. Let them subscribe. We don't turn down subscribers. So The name of this game is The More the Merrier, and it's about good football, Raider football talk is what this is about. So, Duncan, I'm done.
Yeah. Let's close it out with you first hire great coaches, then you
Then
go
you
and
hire
sign
great
great
players.
players, and with them together, you tell them one thing.
Tell them one thing. Just
win,
win, baby.
Salute.
Cold open, count it out. Yeah, we heard the talk. Cold nights and long losses, still we walk. Scoreboard hurt, but the heart stayed real. Still wear the black, still flash the shield. From Oakland roots to Vegas dust, pain in the season, but we still trust. They say it's over, I say move